The 1987 Victorian Football League Grand Final between Carlton and Hawthorn played at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on Saturday the 26th of September 1987. The teams: Carlton, backs, Kennedy, Silvani, Rhys-Jones, halfbacks, Aitken, Dorotich, Dean, centres, Robertson, Bradley, Glascott, half-forwards, Johnston, Kernahan, Dennis, forwards, Mackenzie, Hunter, Gleeson, followers, Madden and Alvin, Rover-Nailey, interchange Meldrum and Murphy, emergencies, Buckley, Ogier and Shine. Hawthorn, backs, Ayres, Langford, Abbott, halfbacks, Jenke, Mew, Kennedy, centres, DiPagiomenico, Schwab, Russo, half-forwards, Morris, Brereton, Buckenara, forwards, Curran, Dunstall, Collins, followers, G. Deere and Tuck, Rover Platten, interchange Green and P. Deere, emergencies Loveridge, Morrissey and Pritchard. Team changes. Dunstall, injured, was replaced in the selected 20 Hawthorn players by Pritchard. Umpires: Ian Robinson and Rowan Sawyers. Crowd 92,754. Weather: it was a really hot 31 degrees, which accounted for quite a few thousand people staying away from the game. The 1987 VFL Reserves Grand Final saw Carlton 18 goals 17 defeat St Kilda 15 goals 15.
Dunstall out and Pritchard in for Hawthorn here at the MCG as the Hawks come onto the ground and the thousands of brown and gold balloons go into the air. The Hawks on the ground, and Gareth Andrews, how many did you say they'd win by, Len?
5 goals.
30 points, thank you. Jack Cameron would like his headsets back, and oh gee, it's a great lineup of Carlton, tell it. Gareth. Microphone, Clearlo, switch.
Thanks, you've got control over me today, Clearlo, of course, but you always have had. The important feature of today's game, I think, is the fact that Carlton are looking for revenge and to try to avenge the big defeat that they suffered at the hands of the Hawks last year. And they've made lots of changes to the lineup that they had in the grand final last year. And the major change is to try to overcome the running Hawthorn players, as the Carlton were a slow side, and by bringing in some of the speedsters, Carlton have answered their what happened last year, and I think they've done it pretty well, and I think it's really going to show on the scoreboard at the end of the day. I think the weather is going to make a big difference as the game goes on. Hawthorn are tremendous competitors, and that competitive spirit will see them right through to the final siren, but they have had a very tough final series, not just physically but emotionally, and of course so much emotion went into that fight back and that final victory last week that no matter what you say, 7 days goes very quickly in football, particularly at this time of the season, and I think that's going to have a telling effect on the Hawthorn side. They've gone very quietly over the last week of training because Alan Jeans realises that there's a lot gone in and it's been a hard effort from these fellas. The fact that they haven't got Dunstall, well, that certainly makes a big difference to the side. But of course, I think that's been equated somewhat by the fact that Carlton is without Satori. I believe he was going to be a key player in the Carlton plan, so those two players match each other off. I think Carlton with their speed, I think Carlton with their freshness should be able to take the game today, and I'm selecting them by 42 points.
Gareth going by 7 goals. Hawthorn wearing their uniform brown shorts, and yes, Michael Tuck is wearing a long-sleeve sweater. The rest of the Hawthorn players in sleeveless jumpers here today. Former Carlton champion and premiership player David Mackay. But before you do, Swanee, just hold you the introduction to the Blues to run onto the ground. The trainers coming out first. False alarm. The big banner goes up with Peter Motley and Des English holding onto the premiership cup. A terrific banner, a beauty by the Blues, but false alarm, so Swanee, go for it.
Yes, Graham. Well, I think Carlton certainly start today with a lot better opportunity than they did in the 1986 grand final. I think, as Gareth mentioned, they've made 7 changes from last year's side, and the majority of those changes add a lot of pace to Carlton's game, and that was certainly the area where they were really brought undone last year, particularly players like Harms, McClure and Dool were just not quick enough for the pacey Hawthorn players of last year. The other big thing in Carlton's favour is the ruck work of Madden. Madden has been playing superb football throughout the year, and in particular in the finals, and hopefully today he'll be able to give Carlton first use of the ball. There are other major bonuses, the recruitment of Mark Nailey. Mark Nailey has really livened up Carlton's following division, and that was certainly one of their weaknesses in '86, and they've covered that well. Added to that, they've also got Gleeson and Murphy will be out to prove that you know, if he was in last year's finals, he may have been a valuable player to Carlton, and it's good to see him get the chance.
Here comes Swan. Kernahan leading them out, followed by Madden and Bradley. The banner's gone down.
Gee, Jono's revving them up, Graham.
Yep. So, David, off you go.
Well, there's no doubt that Johnson, as Peter mentioned, is revving up Carlton, and he is certainly the linchpin of getting Carlton going. He's a particularly good player, and his aggression, the pressure that he puts on the opposition players is absolutely enormous. I think he'll probably start on the half-forward flank, but as we noticed in the last time they played Hawthorn, he moved to the centre, and he's a magnificent ball winner, and that's where Carlton really, I think, may have the edge today, getting the ball out of the centre initially through Madden and getting the ball moving in their forward direction through players in particular like Nailey and also Johnson. And I think that will certainly give them the edge. Their forward line is a little bit of a worry. If Kernahan is covered well by Langford and also hunted by Mew, it could weaken their forward line, but we'll certainly be looking for more from a player like Dennis, who hasn't been playing well this year, and as I say, Johnson is certainly a good player. So they're the sort of aspects from Carlton that will stand them in good stead. Unfortunately, the Hawthorn with Dunstall out, it will certainly weaken their forward set up, but they've got some brilliant players, and Carlton will really have to look out for, in particular, Buckenara and Brereton, because they're certainly the keys to Hawthorn's success. But I think Carlton will just be a little bit too strong on the day, and I predict they might win by 15 points.
So far we have Ian Cleland, Len Thompson, Gareth Andrews and David Mackay going for the Blues, who are wearing white shorts and as selected. A special cheerio to Noel Morgan and the Carlton cheer squad listening to us on Christmas Island. Note from your father John from Golden Square in Bendigo, Noel. So that's great to know that you're listening to us loud and clear over there. And across the back line we might get a few votes for Hawthorn. Rodney Olsen, former Hawthorn champion. You see the Hawks winning today?
Yes, I can, Smokey. I did say this morning that I thought the margin would be 30 points, but I think with Dunstall not lining up, I'll bring that back to about 15 in direct opposition to David. And on the other hand, Hawthorn's character has been tested over recent weeks. The last home and away game against Geelong, they came back from what should have been an impossible situation. They did an enormous job against Melbourne in a really physical confrontation last week. I don't agree with some of the other commentators about Hawthorn running out of legs. Jeans has used all his experience in making sure that the Hawthorn players' legs are going to be fresh for the most important game in the year. And Hawthorn, with their experience, with their running back line, where I don't believe the Carlton forwards will be able to contain them, as well as the defensive and disciplined Melbourne side last week. And I think that's where Hawthorn can win it. Green will be interesting to see whether he lines up on the ground. He was a match winner when he came onto the ground, and I think his experience and his commitment and everything to do with Hawthorn is going to be too much against a much improved Carlton side from last year. It's going to be one of the great grand finals, I would predict, and I think Hawthorn are going to win it by 15 points.
Thank you, Rodney. We might get another vote for Hawthorn from Kevin Coglan to your left. Rodney, yes, Skeeter?
I think it's probably a disappointment for Dunstall and for the Hawthorn fans that he's out, and provided the Hawthorn camp doesn't panic as it did in the second semi-final out at VFL Park, and provided the Hawthorn camp leaves that the rest of the forward division, much fated as the best forward division we've seen for many years, as long as they leave the rest of them in position, I think the Hawks can win this by 25 points.
Thank you, Kevin. Great to have with us at the MCG today our Carrara-based Australian football commentator. That's up on the Gold Coast for the Bears home matches, the former Essendon champion and premiership player Huey Mitchell. Great to have you here, Huey, and how do you see it going?
Yeah, thanks very much, Graham. Well, Carlton, I think, are going to be very hard to beat. I think a lot of their players will still remember last year's grand final, the taste of defeat. That certainly will inspire them. I think they're a much better side than last year. They've improved a lot in players. Kernahan and Bradley had a very quiet game last year. I'm sure both of these players will certainly lift their game this afternoon. And of course the inclusion of Nailey, I think he's been a big bonus for the Blues during the season, picking up kicks around the packs and around the ground. But I think the Hawthorn defence will work overtime this afternoon. Interesting to see how Chris Muir has come up after that bad knock last week. And it wouldn't surprise me if Langford started at centre-half back on Kernahan, because I think Kernahan's going to be the key to Carlton this afternoon. And I think it'll be a very close game, although I do think Carlton will finish much fitter as the day goes on, and I'm picking them to win by 36 points.
Huey Mitchell going for the Blues, and finally another former Hawthorn premiership player before they line up and toss the coin and we hear the anthem. Timing perfect, Michael Moncrief. Can you see the Hawks making it back-to-back premierships this afternoon?
They're going to find it very hard indeed, Graham, because the conditions here, as we've said, they're going to have it not in their favour. I think the inclusion of Pritchard means that they're trying to match the Carlton running plays, because they've got a lot more in Nailey, Gleeson, Murphy and Meldrum coming into those two interchange players on the bench. So Pritchard's there to try and help Collins and also Brownlow medalist Johnny Platten to try and help combat the pace that is certainly going to be used here today. I think the key, as David Mackay said, is the fact that Buckenara and also Brereton are going to have to kick a lot of goals. The thing was that in the second semi-final, the key goal kickers for Hawthorn were held to 5 goals. Dunstall kicked a couple, Carinelli kicked 1, Brereton 1 and Buckenara 1, so those players were well held. I think if Hawthorn are going to win, they've certainly got to rely on those players to kick goals. So I'd just like to wish all the country listeners good listening today, and also the people at Yarrawonga.
Thanks, Mike. Stand by for the anthem. About to come over to toss the coin for the choice of ends.
Two captains to join me here, Michael Tuck of Hawthorn, Steve Kernahan of Carlton, and to toss the coin, our Wimbledon champion, Pat Cash. This is an Australian nugget. Now, Mike, you can have a good look at it. Steve Kernahan has the call. Ready to toss, Pat? Right, heads and nugget. Heads is a call from Steve Kernahan, and it's come up tails. Michael Tuck has the choice. Go to the scoreboard end. Hawthorn have won the toss and are kicking to the scoreboard end.
And for the final word on the preview of the grand final, Douglas Bigelow. Douglas.
We're giving margins this year, and opinions divided. I remember when Hawthorn last played Carlton a fortnight ago, that the margin was only 15 points, and it was anybody's game that day, although Carlton did finish well. There's been a lot of mouth movement this week from many and various. Alan Jeans has made a lot of movement from the mouth, but he said very little. Robert Walls has been the chirper and is very, very confident about the Blues this year. Of course, the encounter's out there on the MCG, and that's where it all takes place. And I just have a little feeling that Hawthorn, who are very used to this grand final caper, very used to it. enjoyed the glory of winning them, have had the disappointments of losing. And Carlton, I suppose, have improved. There's no doubt about that. They've been a good side this year. This will be a great grand final. I'm quite sure of that. But I'm staying with Hawthorn. I still think they've got the qualities and the capabilities. And what's the interchange situation, Smoke?
Well, Abbott and Pritchard are going for Hawthorn, and Mackenzie and Gleeson for Carlton. And the big move is Dorotich to full forward for Carlton. Kernahan is being picked up by Langford. Carlton keeping the forward line right open, and Dorotich to full forward. Silvani is in a sleeveless sweater.
Swab on Johnson.
Rhys Jones is going to play on Brereton. Well, I thought this might be on Rhys Jones on Brereton. Silvani on Paul Deere. Alvin is going to play on Buckenara today. Dean on Morris. And Aitken on Curran. And we're about to start the 1987 Grand Final. Carlton against Hawthorn at the MCG. Ayres is in the centre for Hawthorn. Looks like he's going to play on Bradley. Schwab on Johnston. Fraser Murphy starting in the centre for the Blues. Nailey outside the square, but he'll run in there pretty quickly. And so will Peter Russo. Don't worry about that. 2:30 in Eastern Australia. Ian Robinson has the footy. About to go in the Grand Final. Go for it smooth.
What's Jono barking to the umpire about?
Jono's talking to the umpire about something. He's got a free kick. Wayne Johnston.
Players in the centre.
Five in the centre. Okay, Wayne Johnson now gets the first kick of the Grand Final for Carlton. A high one in towards centre. Half forward. Hunter's marked. 40 metres out for Carlton, directly in front. Dorotich, as Graham mentioned, is playing full forward. Kennedy has picked him up. Rhys Jones has picked up Brereton. But 5 in the centre has given Carlton the first chance to score in the Grand Final. Smart. A high kick by Johnston, marked by Hunter.
Smart thinking by Johnson, wasn't it?
Fantastic. The kick by Hunter at the punt road end. Oh, it's swirling around a bit. I think he's missed it. He has. It's a behind. It didn't miss by a great margin. And Carlton score a behind 51 seconds into the Grand Final.
Langford playing on Kernahan, takes the kick and he goes to the southern stand wing. Di Domenico comes in over the top. Robertson's picked him up. The chance for the Blues. Good tackle. The ball spills free. Picked up for Hawthorn. The kick smothered. It was Russo. Kicked by Di Domenico. Only goes about 8 metres. Mark not paid for it. Comes to Glascott, who steps out of a tackle. Drives the Blues back into attack. Dorotich the target. Fisted away by Langford. Out in front of the pack. It spills towards Fraser Murphy. Spills now for Meldrum, who ducks his head. Gets it away towards Johnson, who's tackled. Tripp as the free kick going Carlton's way.
To Johnson, he's limping.
Johnston is limping. He has the free kick 45 metres from goal, directly in front. Robertson has picked up Di Domenico. Tucker's dropped back onto Bradley. The ball went forward. Green being picked up by Kennedy of Carlton. The kick by Johnston. That looks better. He's put it through. First goal of the match kicked by the Dominator, Wayne Johnston, coming 1 minute and 53 seconds into the first term. Carlton, 1 goal, 1-7. Lead Hawthorn yet to score. They haven't been into attack, the Hawks, so far in the Grand Final.
Well, Johnson once again proving his value with that very accurate shot at goal, and of course the smart move early in the piece when he was aware that Hawthorn had more than the required amount of players in the centre. He's going to have a big effect on this game, Wayne Johnson, and certainly, as indicated, in the mood.
Carlton 1 goal 1. Hawthorn yet to score. Madden gets a knock. Intercepted by Russo. The ball spills. Taken by Glascott. A left foot kick towards centre half forward. The ball bounces free. Comes out towards Langford, but taken away by Hawthorn across the half-back line. The mark is taken by Dennis. Plays on quickly. The lead from Dorotich was a bit too early. The punch away by New. It comes to Dorotich. Gets the handball onto Meldrum. He can kick a goal. He has. No, he hasn't. He's missed.
Should have.
Quick hand pass by Dorotich onto Meldrum from about 25 metres out and just missed. So Carlton really fired out of a gun in the early minutes of this Grand Final. 1 goal, 2-8, and Hawthorn yet to score.
And that move has caught Hawthorn unawares because they've had to change Mew off Hunter and put Kennedy on Dorotich, Mew back on Dorotich, checked into Green, who marks at half back on the southern stand side. Kennedy was, that's Michael Kennedy of Carlton, came in. Short kick from Green, marked by Schwab near the point of the square in defence. Gets the hand pass back to the running Green. Green goes for a long kick down the ground. Brereton gets underneath it. Big pack. Curran in front. The ball spills. Curran following up Morris it is. Crashes the Carlton player. Handball comes from Di Domenico to Platten, who gets tackled high. He weaves his way through the pack. Bouncing ball well smothered by Alvin. Oh, he fumbles. Ball comes out towards Buckenara. Paul Deere comes in. Umpire Robinson says, give it to me. Fairly a solid exchange there. And the first time Hawthorn has gone forward, the ball to be bounced at centre half forward. 45 metres from the goal, they're attacking at the main scoreboard end. The Blues, 1-2-8 lead Hawthorn yet to score. Almost 3 minutes and 50 seconds gone in the first term. Paul Deere comes in to do the contesting. Spills down towards Tuck, push forward. Schwab, 35 metres out from goal. Kicks and misses. First score for the Hawks. They go to one behind, trailing Carlton 1-2-8. 4 minutes gone, first quarter of the 87 grand final.
Yes, well, that was a good move by Hawthorn, or Paul Deere too, to come down and do that ruck contesting. He didn't mess around. He ran 50 metres away from full forward to contest with Madden.
The kick in by Michael Kennedy of Carlton. A very hot day in Melbourne, over 30 degrees, a huge crowd. The ball intercepted at centre half forward by Di Domenico. Gets one a bit high from Johnston. He'll take the free kick, and I think they might have been testing out his shoulder. And Wayne Johnston has been reported by umpire Ian Robinson for that fairly high tackle.
Dipper's all right.
Don't worry, he's not too flash, I can tell you that. He's pointed a finger, so beware.
Now, Dipper will take the kick if he doesn't get a 15-metre penalty outside 50. In fact, that Carlton player on the mark is going well up.
He's not smart at all. He tried to be.
From about 52 metres out, directly in front to the main scoreboard or city end. Robert Di Domenico, he's going for a long one. The drop punt on its way. It's fading towards the pocket. In fact, it could be out of bounds on the full. It is. The free kick will be taken by Rhys Jones of Carlton.
Goes out towards the southern stand side, and his kick goes out of bounds on the full, and Tuck will take the free kick outside 50. Tucker's got the job on Bradley today. At the moment, Collins is staying in the back pocket on Nailey. Ayres on Meldrum as Tuck comes in to drive Hawthorn deep into attack. He does. Brereton is going to fly from behind with Curran. Oh, they flew high. Comes down towards Rhys Jones. Ball spills free. Here's a chance for Hawthorn. Barging his way through is Curran. He screws it back offline and through for a behind. Hawthorn working hard, but getting only 2 behinds to Carlton's 1 goal 2. 5 minutes and 50 seconds into the first term. The Blues lead by 6 points.
Great start. Kick in by Kennedy is short to Rhys Jones. It doesn't find its mark cleanly. Rhys Jones gets a push, and he was a bit lucky. In fact, Kennedy kicking in was a bit lucky to get the ball up to Rhys Jones and get this result, a push and a free kick, because it wasn't on target. Handball over to Robertson is a bit too strong. It spills out towards Alban. Good shepherding there by Dean allows Alban to scoot the ball up towards Kernahan on the wing on the southern side. 15 metres to Kernahan as Jenke just roughed him up a little bit to slow him down.
30 now it is.
Make it 30. 2 lots of 15, but Kernahan just takes advantage of the first. Out comes Dorotich. He's marked it right on his chest. Half forward flank. As you look down the MCG to the punt road end, it's the right half forward flank in front of Bay, I guess about 10. And this will suit his kicking style. He's about 15 metres in from the boundary. John Dorotich, normally centre half back, and playing full forward. Carlton lead by 8 points to 2. Dorotich, 35 metres out, drop punt, and it's offline. And it just snuck in for a behind him, almost right across the face of goal, from one pocket to another. Carlton 1-3, Hawthorn 2 behind.
Pretty good move by Walls, though. This isn't, although Dorotich has had a lot of experience up forward.
Ayres kicks in, he goes long almost straight down the ground. Langford goes for the knock on, it rebounds to Kernahan, who knocks the ball about 30 metres forward. Chance for Dennis, but now Murphy with pace will get there first. He tries to run around Jenke, can't, gets it back towards Dennis, whose handball goes out of bounds. Good defensive skills by the Hawks there, particularly Ray Jenke, who had support from Collins, and the ball is out of bounds. 7.5 minutes gone, first term of the 87 grand final. The Blues are 1-3-9, the Hawks 2 behinds, 2 points. The ball back into play. Mew goes up for that one. The ruckman staying back, a kick behind the play. The ball shoveled out of the pack. It comes out towards Russo. Oh, he's scalped. Yes. Gets the handball away towards Kennedy, who handballs, and it goes out of bounds. So the umpire's letting it go. Saws was the one that time, as it was a Russo low tackle that, well, he ducked right out of. Ball to be thrown in. In the back pocket for Hawthorn. Deep into attack for the Blues. Over the back of the pack it comes to Meldrum. First there. He fobbed off Schwab with the high one. Gets it to Nailey. Nailey 35 metres, fires and misses. Bit of space he created for himself. 3/4 sleeve jumper for Nailey. And Carlton go to 1-4-10. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points. 8 minutes and 25 seconds gone in the first quarter.
Hurriedly, or hurried shots, but reasonably easy to to have been some good scores. There's a box on.
Platten and Robertson. Thanks, Smoke, for turning the mic on. The kick by Langford, Orchard Beauty, right up inside the centre square. No one can mark. Di Domenico is there, and so is Bradley. Bradley might want support with a hand pass across to Michael Kennedy. No, he goes to Dean. Dean sees Glascott in the centre, just on the attacking side. Nailey comes in to fend off Platten. Handball across, finds Madden. Madden now goes for a torp, doesn't quite get onto it. The ball bounces in front of Langford and Kernahan. It's about 40 metres out from goal, and it's been worked over. A boundary throw in, about 45 metres out from goal, left half forward flank, punt right end. Throw in. The ball holding up in the breeze, knocked away by Mew.
Ball at half-back on the 50-metre line. Platten coming through. Oh, he gets dragged down. He got rid of them. Oh, goodness me. He handballed away and was dragged down, and the free kick will go back to Glascott of Carlton. Clearly.
A dreadful decision by the umpire. That is Carlton's 4th free kick, and Hawthorn have had 1.
9.5 minutes first term. Glascott goes for a short pass. Dennis the target. Fisted away from him. In support, Langford. His hand pass, not all that flash, but it goes to Jenke, who gets it back to Langford. Langford clears in the back pocket. No one home. Johnston is there. Good shepherding by Aitken allows Johnston to take the mark. The shepherding on Curran. The kick by Johnston in towards Kernahan.
That was touched too.
Touch play on is the call. They dive all over the top of him, and the ball will be bounced. I thought it was, Doug. I missed
it. It was touched.
Right. I saw the touch. Didn't see the signal from Robinson.
The umpire gave it.
Yep, and he immediately signalled play on, which was Saws. It's 45 metres from goal at the punt road end, the end of which Carlton is kicking in this first term. The ball knocked down. Tuck grab without it. Play on's a call. Bit of a push on Platten. Ayres coming through strongly. Tries to shovel it out. Still trying. Now Johnston tries to shovel it out. Comes towards Tuck. Platten tackles the Carlton player underneath the ball. That player was Murphy. It's going to be bounced. Hawthorn worked it in a rugby fashion forward about 5 metres. 10.5 minutes gone first term. Carlton 1-4, Hawthorn 2 behinds. Madden gets the tap. It goes to Ayres. Ayres, well, he goes for a hand pass out to Langford. Bit of confidence in that one, if you don't mind. Looks for Morris on the wing. Morris in front of Dean, or the rebounding ball favours Dean beautifully. Foot pass to Kernahan, who gets away from Langford. And the Carlton skippers mark 50 metres from goal, just in from the boundary line. Good bounce for Dean over there on the crest on the southern stand wing.
Cool one for Curran.
Morris rather, Douglas.
Was it? Thank you.
This is Kernahan, the Carlton skipper. He's put the ball on the turf. He's going to kick from just outside 50 metres at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. The Blues are 1-4-10, leading Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points. Dennis leads. What's called a furphy, I would suggest, under those circumstances. Kernahan comes in. He's going to kick right to the square. Madden comes in, but free kick is being paid to Hawthorn as Mew got the fist away, but the push went on Greg Deere, and he'll get the free kick in the last line of defence. Hawthorn at the 11.5-minute mark of the first quarter, 2 behinds. The Blues are 1-4.
Kick by Deere up towards the 15-metre line. Tuck goes up and can't mark. He comes to it but loses possession. Di Domenico falls on top of the ball, and there'll be a ball up about 60 metres out from Carlton's goal. A very hot day. Everyone's palms are sweating. All the nervous tension. Madden gets the tap at Nailey. Can't do much with a kick off the ground by Tuck. Further up the field, the mark has been taken by Dean.
Anticipated that, didn't he? That kick off the ground by Tuck.
Dean goes long, inside 50 the kick, up towards Mew and Dorotich. Dorotich goes to ground. Mew rides a bump, almost a one-hander out of the pack by Mew. Coming in hard as Russo. Jenke is there too, and there'll be a ball up about 35 metres out from goal.
Gee, it's hot, isn't it? It's hot out there.
It must be about 31 or 32 degrees. We'll try and get the studio to give us some idea. There's the ball up. Carlton into attack at half forward. Greg Deere punches the ball. Knock on further by Tuck. It goes up towards Schwab. Tries to spin out of a tackle. He loses possession. Picked up by Johnston. 40 metres out for Carlton. Fires in towards goal, and I think he's kicked it. He has. He's kicked it. Carlton's second goal. Both kicked by Wayne Johnston. Carlton go to 2-4-16 with 6 scoring shots to 2, and Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points, 13 minutes in the first quarter.
Gee, doesn't he show his value and class? Dominator, anticipator too. And converter is Johnson, loving this. There's a box on.
Aitken was after Morris. Down comes Curran. Aitken went after Morris. I don't know what for. Georgie Stone comes in. Well, there was a reason, so one of the boys said they can comment on that at quarter time, but Aitken went after Morris and Curran came in very quickly.
He's coming from the ground now, is Morris.
Pritchard is going on. Morris off. Left knee looks a bit iffy.
Yeah, a little jarry.
So Pritchard on and Morris to the interchange bench. At the 13-minute and 40-second mark of the first quarter, we had a little bit of life in proceedings then, as Aitken went after the Carlton player Morris.
I think these umpires have got to take a little bit more control of this game. They've had 5 ball-up decisions already, 4 free kicks to Carlton and 1 to Hawthorn, and I don't think they're strict enough.
At the centre bounce again, the ball knocked down by Madden. It comes to Nailey. Nailey gets Carlton forward again on the point of the square. Out comes Meldrum. The ball punched away by Ayres. It comes to Aitken. Borley call. It went past Nailey. Picked up by Dennis. Dennis spots Hunter at centre half forward. Will he take it? He has. 40 metres out directly in front, Teddy Hunter. Great ruck dominance by Justin Madden to get Carlton going forward. Hunter right in front at the true centre half forward position. 40 metres out. The drop punt is absolutely perfect, and Carlton screwed away in the early stages of the 87 grand final to lead by 20 points. Carlton 3-4-22. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points midway through the first quarter, and the clock showing 14 minutes and 58 seconds.
A little bit of danger stuff there up in Carlton's forward line. Hunter, Johnson, and of course Kernahan too, looking pretty good. Dorotich is adding a little bit, and that Hawthorn back line is really being subjected to plenty at the moment and not handling it too well at all.
Glascott being moved on to Deputy a minute ago. Robertson back in the pocket on Russo. That's the forward pocket. As umpire Robinson comes in and bounced to restart. Madden, this time Deere gets the tap. Schwab trying to take control of it, couldn't do so. Gets it across the Platten, a hurried kick to half forward. Pritchard comes out, gets a bit of a shove. The ball spills free. Coming through strongly is Dean, but in the road was Platten. Ball not able to come out of the packet. We bounce just inside the centre square. Hawthorn to attack.
Yeah, a quick word from Mark Cutler, who's on the boundary with Russell Morris. What's happening with his knee?
Well,
Mark?
Peter, yes, physio Barry Gavin is working overtime on the knee of Morris. He sent a trainer inside to get something, I'm not quite sure. And just before what happened between Dean and Morris, there was a little Scottish kiss on the forehead of Peter Dean, delivered by Morris, and that was what it was all about.
Okay, back to you in a moment, Smoke.
Peter Curran to get a free kick for Hawthorn. Just inside the centre square.
It's 27.9 degrees now. Just noticed this, the Johns people working very busily around the MCG with the heat. The
kick by Curran. Brereton comes from behind Paul Deere. The ball spills, but Glascott at the fall of the ball. He's got nowhere to go. Shepherding strong on Platten. Play-on's a call. Glascott runs his full measure, takes the ball almost out to the 50-metre defensive line. Goes wide. Dennis in front, could take the mark.
Beautiful son.
Yes, he's been down on form a little, but that's characteristic of his play. He goes wide. Langford is in front of Kernahan this time and takes the mark at half-back Southern stand side. 16 minutes and 40 first term. It's all Carlton. They're 3-4 to Hawthorn 2 behind. Short kick Langford is marked by Jenke. Jenke goes to Brereton at centre half forward and he takes the mark. Just outside 50. Johnston and Rhys Jones a little late. Johnston's hurt his hand. He signalled to the trainer. Johnston has hurt his left hand. As he went for that ball, he signalled to the trainer. Paul Deere and Silvani in a sleeveless sweater today. As Brereton comes in close to the man on the mark. Oh, he's hooked it going for distance. Up over the top, Paul Deere, second grab, can't take it. Platten comes in, the ball out of bounds. Free kick going Carlton's way, says the umpire. That's Soars in the last line of defence, and it will go to Silvani for interference. 17 and 20 first term of the 87 grand final. Carlton 3-4-22, 20 points in front of Hawthorn, 2 behinds, 2 points.
I've got the glasses on Johnston, Graham. I'll keep you posted.
Kick by Silvani to half-back Southern stand side. The ball spills okay for Dipper. He gets the hand pass away to Greg Deere. The big fellow kicks off the right boot in towards full forward. Dean couldn't hold the mark. The ball spills. He knocks it back towards the goal. He pushed it close to the behind post. He'll clear off the left boot out in front of the member stand. Meldrum is in front of Ayres. Gets a good bounce. Meldrum gathers well. Kicks off the left boot wide. Will it go out of bounds on the full? It does. So the free kick will go to Gary Ayres right on the grandstand wing in front of our commentary box. 18 minutes gone in the first term of this grand final. The Blues doing it beautifully. 3-4-22 to Hawthorn. 2 behinds, 2 points. Short from Ayres to Russo on the crest. Into attack go Hawthorn. The lead from Paul Deere, Silvani to spoil. Dippy Adamenico takes the crumbs. Oh, he kicked it before he got it. Taken by Johnston, who clears off the right boot. He goes wide to the southern stand side. Leading in the race for the ball is Michael Kennedy of Carlton, and it's out of bounds. 18.5 first term. Carlton 3-4, 22 lead. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points.
Jono's okay. Just want some tape. Carlton 3-4, Hawthorn 2 behinds. It's out of bounds on the practice pitch area on the southern side. Madden and Deere just almost front onto one another for that. Attempted tap away by Deere. The ball spills, comes out towards Alvin. But Carlton's there through Kennedy, who seemed to flick it, but he must have been okay. Onto Bradley. His kick doesn't travel very far. Comes off the boot of Robertson and trickles over. Not on the full, but a boundary throw in once again. Half forward flank. About 75 metres out of Hawthorn's goal. Haven't scored one yet. Greg Deere goes up, punches the ball down, but it goes to Nailey. Nailey stole that one. Ball they call. Picked up by Johnston. Scrub the old kick, but it goes out towards Murphy. Quick hand pass on to Meldrum. Handball across to Alvin running. Alvin's hand pass is intercepted by Langford, but it's picked up by Kernahan, who goes to Hunter. Hunter's marked 35 metres out. On an angle.
Johnston's coming off, Peter, and Gleeson will go on for Carlton.
It'll suit his left foot style. He's just a little more acute than John Dorotich was earlier in the quarter. Yep, Jono going off and Gleeson coming on. Johnson to get his hand tape. The kick by Hunter, a drop punt. It's going across. Not more. Kernahan, no, it's through. It went over the line. Kernahan flew high, and it's through for a behind to Carlton. Kick by Ken Hunter. Carlton 3-5. Hawthorn 2 behinds. It's 23 points to 2. 20 minutes in the first term of the grand final.
The Hawks are trailing by 21 points. That's kicked in by Mew. Bit of a poor one out the half-back on the grandstand side. Chance for Dipia Domenico. Gets the hand pass away to Green. Green off the left boot to half-forward for Hawthorn. Rhys Jones comes over the top to knock it away from Brereton. Aitken at the fall of the ball. Current of worry him out of it. Aitken falls with the ball underneath him. Manages to get the hand pass away to Glasgow. It was a poor one. Paul Deere there. The ball spills free. Platten and Brereton working hard for Hawthorn, as is Dean for Carlton. The ball to be bounced at centre half forward for the Hawks, just inside the 50-metre line. Hawthorn going to the main scoreboard goal in the first term, about to interchange their ruckman, I would suggest, at the 20.5-minute mark. As Paul Deere goes in, the forward half ruck work. Swab goes up, tries to grab it. Ducks his head, gets caught with the ball. The umpire may free kick him. He won't. It's going to be bounced on the 50-metre line. Carlton 3-5, 23. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points as Mackenzie is warming up for Carlton and Abbott for Hawthorn. There's the bounce. Oh, Madden goes up almost uncontested. Spill's okay. Brereton is there. Can he get it away? Out towards Ayres. Ayres breaks out of a tackle. Gets the handball to Russo. Russo forced to kick quickly. No one home for Hawthorn because Deere's up the ground. That's Paul Deere doing the ruck work. Silvani marks in the last line of defence just in from the boundary line. Goes short. Oh, he goes over the head of Aitken. Green comes in, couldn't hold the mark, but knocks it free. Chance for Curran from the boundary line. Oh, he's kicked right across the face. Dropping back is Shane Robertson. Takes the mark for Carlton. Gets the handball away to Alvin running strongly. Alvin has a bounce on the 50-metre line. Half back. Southern stand side. Up towards the crest. Hunter is in front of Kennedy. Kennedy gets a fist to it, but the ball spills okay for Hunter. Hunter's away. Forced to kick with the right boot. Goes wide. With a 2 wide, it was, and it's out of bounds on the full at left half forward for the Blues, where Jenke takes the free kick, is it? Goes short, but it's a shocker. Back onto the crest. Taken for Carlton. Is it Bradley or Shane Robertson? Glasgow. Up towards full forward. Dorotich nearly a one-hander. The ball spills. Chance for Ayres. He overruns it. Shovel back towards Ayres by Mew. Ayres wants support. Collins is there. He's outnumbered 3-1. Picked up by Meldrum. His hand passed too far for Kernahan. Coming through was Russo. Good work, Russo. Collins with pace comes in to intercept. Clears back towards the wing. Chance for Green and Michael Kennedy. Aitken is there. The bouncing ball leads all of them. Aitken gathers well. Strong tackle by Curran forces Aitken to kick out of bounds, but he does it well under pressure. Right in front of the members' stand. 22 minutes gone in the first quarter of the grand final. Johnston back on, Gleeson off. Morris limbering up. Hawthorn 2 behinds, trail Carlton 3 goals 5, 23.
22.5 minutes in the first term. Boundary throw in on Hawthorn's half-forward flank. It's taken away by Glascott. A left-foot kick from the pack, but there's nobody home, and Abbott marks. He's just come on. Now the kick by Abbott towards centre half forward. Dipia Domenico is there in Brereton. The ball spills to ground. Coming through Silvani out number 3-1, but there's going to be a free kick to Dipper. Outside 50, Robert Dipia Domenico will get the free kick for a trip, was it? Oh, Curran's by himself on in the forward pocket. Oh, Green. Oh, he went short. And coming in is Silvani to intercept. His target was Green, but he gave it across to Johnston. What's happening? The ball coming back.
He's blew time on. Silvani's got the kick because he got the free kick for one high, and the umpire blew time on.
At
so
centre
comes back.
Thanks, Mike. Centre half back. The kick by Silvani. Up towards Dennis coming in and takes a beauty on the wing. Feeding off him is Michael Kennedy, but he won't go for Kennedy. He's going for Hunter in front of Mew. The ball bounces. In fact, it bounces away from both players, and it's over and out.
Hawthorn have moved Abbott onto Dorotich and put Mew back on Hunter, and I think Kennedy must be up half forward. And Pritchard was a player who came off when Abbott went on.
Carlton into attack, about 60 metres out from goal in front of Bay 13. The ball knocked down by Madden, but he taps it unfortunately for Carlton to Jenke. Jenke looks for Dippy at Domenico. Dipper's just on the practice pitch area. Has a bounce now. Goes with his left foot, or it's a shocker. Forward breaks past to Rhys Jones. Brereton grabbed and will be penalised for holding the ball. Dermot Brereton. They are tackling ferociously, Carlton. They look very fit indeed, but there's a long way to go in this seat. The free kick to Rhys Jones, the handball across to Johnston. From half-back up towards half-forward, and Dennis, he's playing a blinder. Paul Glascott's by himself at centre half-forward, but he's going towards Dorotich. Down there is Meldrum waiting behind. The punch away by Abbott. Langford comes to it at half-back, gets the handball away. No, he thought he would. He goes for a bounce around the wing, looking for Swab, and Swab's marked just down from wing on the half-forward line.
15 metres, thank you very much.
At least. Still hanging on.
And now it's nothing.
Speak to me, Clearly, because I'm speechless.
Well, Ian Robinson's got a rule of his own today. That's 2 bad mistakes he's made. That should have been 30 metres penalty.
Madden goes high, couldn't hold the mark. It was stolen from him by a teammate. It's kicked away for Carlton out wide. In comes Langford. Kernahan was there. Chance for Kernahan as it rebounds to him. He gets a bit of a shove. He'll get the free kick for the push in the back. Kernahan, the Carlton skipper, gets it on the crest. Southern stand side. 25 minutes gone first term. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 2 behinds, 2 points of the 87 grand final.
Kick by Kernahan from half-back up towards half-forward. Oh, Abbott got a bad bounce. It comes down towards Dorotich, being manhandled by Green. No free kick. And Dorotich hand passes out of the pack. Yes, it should have been a free kick. Oh, they went in hard and furious there. Let's see who's last to get up. Jenke's free kick on the half-back line in front of about Bay 14. Go short to Russo at half-back. Hunter comes up to cover him. Russo gets the handball away. On towards Collins. Collins now from half-back to Kennedy, up forward now. Kennedy on 50. A chance to score Hawthorn's first goal. The kick in towards goal. I think it's through. Yes, it is. Right on quarter time. We've played 26 minutes in the first quarter. And that goal coming at the 25-minute and 55.
On Hunter now.
Mew gone back onto him, and Abbott's gone on to Dorotich.
Yes, well, that could work very well. Kennedy's goal, a little lucky. Silvani just couldn't touch it. Must have got very close.
26 and a half first quarter. The bounce slightly favours Greg Deere. Madden gets his hand to it. Chance for Nailey. Madden couldn't get a kick in. Tuck working hard, gets a shove. The Hawthorn skipper will get the free for the push right in the centre of the ground. Almost 27 minutes gone. Oh, he came in from the side. Fraser Murphy, 15 metres as Tuck was about to take his kick. 27 minutes almost gone first term. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 1 goal, 2-8. Tuck, oh, he goes for a taunt, but he kicks it a bit high. It's a floater down towards full forward. Brereton comes out, he's behind. The ball spills. No one there except Platten. He picks it up. He's free kick to Platten. Free kick to Platten. 35 metres from goal directly in front. Nailey was a tackling player. He says, have a look at the replay.
Look, it was a similar situation with Platten up this end of the ground, and he was given holding the ball against. That was more obvious and could have been holding the ball against Platten. Maybe it should have.
I tell you what, Biggs, Carlton are going to undo 25 minutes of top football in 2 minutes of time on here.
Platten kicks to the big scoreboard goal. Has he kicked Hawthorn second?
Yep.
I have a feeling he has. He has. Platten kicks Hawthorn second. And at the 27.5-minute mark of the first term, Carlton 3-5-23 lead, Hawthorn 2-2-14.
Rowan soars. Almost quarter time here in the grand final. A perfect centre bounce. Up goes Madden. Taps it down towards Bradley. Players overrunning the ball. Platten grabbed, no free kick. The ball picked up by Tuck, who gets a little lifter.
Oh,
yes, and there'll be an advantage down the field, and rightly so against Justin Madden. He's going to be reported.
Of course he is.
Madden's been reported for giving Tucky a bit of a lefty, and I tell you what, it hurt more than we first thought because Tucker's still not up.
That's 2 Carlton players reported in the first quarter, Peter, Johnston and Madden.
Kennedy's got the free kick just down from wing, and Tuck, I tell you what, it didn't look all that vicious, but I tell you what, it's really hurt Tuck. Russo's hurt himself too, his knee's gone. The lead by Brereton is coming behind. No, but Domenico's marked. 45 metres out from goal. Tucky's up and he's okay.
Bit of courage, Dipper, too. The troops were descending. Does he know any fear, that man, at all?
Almost 4 minutes of time on. And
he was a player down when Johnston was reported.
Hawthorn's first goal came when? Jack, into time on, was it? 25-55, the second goal at about 27, the kick by Dipper. It's a beauty, and he's put it through. Hawthorn's third goal. And after Carlton led by 20 points just a short time ago, they lead by 3 points close to quarter time. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn is spirited. Last a few minutes. 3-20.
Yes, it's been pretty tough stuff, and as we would have expected, Carlton really applying a lot of...
Just 3 points now. Centre bounce favours Madden. He gets a big fist to it. Grabbed by Jenke. He's grabbed without the ball. It spills to Collins. He gets the hand pass to Langford. Langford with a quick kick out of the centre. Up to half forward. Michael Kennedy and Green, who came at him a bit front on. Dean gets a bit of a tackle. Comes back towards Alvin, who tries to get a hand pass away. Couldn't. Comes back to Alvin. He got rid of it. No, he's still playing it in front of him. Still pushing it along in front of him. Ball they crawl, holding the man they call. Umpire Robinson lets it go. Boundary umpire Sporton will put it back into play right in front of the members' pavilion, which is packed to capacity. 30 minutes gone first term. 3 points the difference. Deere gets a fist to it. Goes to Glasgow of Carlton. Kicks up towards the grandstand wing. Overrun. Picked up by Collins. Been pretty busy. Gets a little grubber kick along the ground. And it's out of bounds as Dean comes in into Greg Deere. Carlton 3-5-23. Hawthorn 3 goals 2-20. The Blues lead by 3 points. 30.5 minutes gone first term.
It's on Hawthorn's half-forward line. They could turn in front at quarter time with a bit of luck here. They can. The kick by Curran in towards full forward. A chance for Brereton. Punched away by Silvani very athletically. The ball spills away from Tuck. It's picked up by Russo. So Brereton's by himself, and so is Kennedy. Oh, coming in Aitken. But Kennedy's claimed the mark, and he's been paid it.
I don't think he did.
John Kennedy of Hawthorn has marked 25 metres out from goal, and Hawthorn, after a fairly sluggish first 25 minutes of this first quarter, can possibly turn, and it's quarter time. There goes the siren. Hawthorn could turn in front. The kick by Kennedy to the main scoreboard or City, and it's perfect. He's put it through. Hawthorn in front by 3 points at quarter time. Scoreboard at the MCG for Kennedy's second goal. Hawthorn 4-2-26. Carlton 3-5-23. For Hawthorn.
Carlton to the big scoreboard end. Hawthorn 4-2. Carlton 3 goals 5. The Hawks by 3 points.
27 degrees here in Melbourne. Up goes Deere, but Madden wins again. Coming through his Tuck, and Tuck will get the kick. No, he won't. He's grabbed down from behind by Dennis. The ball spills towards Platt and pushed in the back. No free kick. Handball out towards Schwab, who gives it to Tuck. Tuck now in towards Buckenara. After him is Alvin, who assumes the front position. Buckenara goes to ground and just grabbed Alvin, and Alvin will take the free kick on the 50-metre defensive line.
Over in front of the Southern stand, the famous Bay 13 at the MCG, Tommy Alvin of Carlton. Out towards the crest, looking for Justin Madden. He couldn't hold the mark. The ball to ground. Knocked on, attempted little kick for Carlton. The Carlton player grabbed without the ball. It spills free, but Glasgow takes the mark on the defensive side of the crest. Gets the handball away to Bradley. Bradley near the boundary line. Left puts it in towards half forward. Just over the head of Dennis. Jenke comes in, collides with Dennis as Kernahan falls over. Schwab goes to ground. Knocked on for Carlton by Dennis, but out of bounds it goes, and it's still pretty tough out there at left half forward for Carlton.
In the first quarter, Graham Glascott 7 kicks, Johnston 7, Dennis 5, and for Hawthorn, Langford 5, Russo, Tuck and Dipper 4 each.
Thrown in at left half forward for the Blues, going to the big scoreboard goal in this second term. Madden and Deere nullify another quick kick by Platt. Doesn't go very far. Michael Kennedy couldn't control it. Green tackles him, but he gets the hand pass away to Bradley. Bradley gives it back to Aitken, who has to double back and kick high, floating it in towards half forward. Greg Deere comes in. Oh, nearly a good mark by Dennis with the float of the ball. Spills for Nailey. He's close to the boundary line. He couldn't control it. And it's out of bounds once more at left half forward for the Blues. 1.5 minutes second term. Carlton 3-5-23. Lead Hawthorn 4-2-26.
Boundary throw in on the practice pitch area. They go to ground. Chance for Kernahan. Picks up outside 50. Scrubby old kicking towards half forward. Hunter picks it up. Gets the handball beautifully on the Bradley. Goal coming up for Carlton. And he slams it through. And Carlton back in front by 3 points here at the MCG in the grand final. Craig Bradley on the run. Broke clear, had plenty of space, and has popped it through for Carlton's 4th goal. They lead 4-5-29 to Hawthorn 4-2-26.
Who's back in front by 3 points. They've scored the first goal in the second quarter against Meath. Ball tapped down. Johnston runs at Di Domenico. Free kick will go to Di Domenico for a high one. Johnston running at him with the raised elbow again. He got reported for striking Dipper in the first term.
I'd say he's thrown caution to the breeze, Graham.
But I'll tell you what, Jono can do a lot of harm to his side if he continues with that reckless type of play.
In towards centre-half forward. Brereton uncontested. Drops the sitter. Gets a bit of a shove all over the back. Coming away with it for Carlton is Rhys Jones. From the square line up to half forward, and Collins takes the mark on his chest for Hawthorn. Doing a pretty fair job on Fraser Murphy. Number 40, the blonde for Hawthorn, Collins. Down the centre of the ground he goes looking for Tuck. Dean up over the top. Swab with the opportunity to push the ball forward. Nailey is there. He's caught with the ball. The umpire said pinned to him by Schwab, the tackling player. And it's going to be bounced by Rowan Saws just inside the centre square with Hawthorn into attack. Brereton certainly missing a mark he should have taken. Deere gets the tap forward for Hawthorn, but goes to Glasgow of Carlton. His handball is a good one to Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones goes back to Johnston in the middle. Johnston draws the player over the top to Robertson. It's good play. Robertson is off. The left foot pass to Dorotich. A beauty. Good running, positive football by Carlton. Perfect pass by Shane Robertson onto the chest of Dorotich, who's marked 40 metres from goal directly in front. Dorotich a little inaccurate in the first term, but the placing of him at full forward certainly upset the Hawthorn balance at the start of the match. Pritchard is about to come back on as Dorotich comes in to have the shot at goal from 45 metres out. That's floating right away, and in fact is out of bounds on the full, so he's wasting opportunities. 4 minutes gone, second quarter. It's Tuck coming off as a result undoubtedly of that heavy knock just before quarter time. The Hawthorn skipper. Blood looks like around the mouth area. Pritchard on for Hawthorn. Tuck off. Jenke takes the free kick in the back pocket for the Hawks.
Out wide he goes towards the practice pitch area. The ball comes down towards Nailey. The crowd scream. Russo gets there, but the ball beats him over for a boundary throw in on the practice pitch area.
Pritchard will go in on Bradley.
Carlton 4-5, Hawthorn 4-2. A boundary throw in. Greg Deere and Justin Madden. Madden's won handsomely, although Ayres comes from behind, but he taps it straight to his opposite number 7 in Johnston. He scoots the ball towards half forward, and Di Domenico just floating in front of Chris Mew. Takes the mark at centre half back for Hawthorn. Or the kick drops a bit short. A clean bowls Green, picked up by Kennedy of Carlton. Kennedy's kick towards Dennis. The ball spills towards Mew. Mew's kick across the half-back line. Ayres can't find a handle for it. Swimming on it, Dorotich, and kicks a goal. Dorotich has put it through from 15 metres out. Hawthorn fumbling badly. It cost them dearly, and Carlton score the first 2 goals of the second quarter. Scoreboard here at the G. Carlton 5-5-35. Hawthorn 4-2-26.
9 points Carlton. Tap down goes to Russo. His kick well smothered by Johnston, taken by Kennedy. Quick hand pass, that's John Kennedy to Platten. Platten from the point of the square goes long. Alvin and Bacanara. Oh, Alvin takes a great mark, just a metre or 2 in from the goal line.
Doing well as Tommy.
Yes, Bacanara had very few possessions, Jack Cameron, if any.
None.
Kick by Alvin. It's a floater out towards the 50-metre line, almost a Carlton mark. Spills in front of the pack towards John Kennedy. He tries to get it out towards Schwab. Schwab bottles it up there with Aitken working hard. Johnston got the ball, but the umpire had blown the whistle for a bounce. 45 metres from the goal. Hawthorn is attacking at the punt road end. Carlton 5-5-35. Hawthorn 4-2-26. The Blues by 9 points, 6.5 minutes second term.
At centre half forward, Hawthorn into attack at the punt road end, taken away by Paul Deere. Handball out, but they're fumbling badly. Was that Green was fumbling? It was. Pritchard kicks into a Carlton player. The ball comes out towards Nailey, intercepted by Collins, who gets a push in the back and must take a free kick.
Throwing the ball.
And the Hawthorn it's going the other way.
Yeah, threw the ball when he got pushed.
Bradley's got the free kick. On the wing, on the southern side, in front of, I guess, about Bay 14. You can't tell these days. The kick by Bradley. Holding up a bit. Let's see. Up goes Kernahan, third in line. Comes to Collins, can't control it. Carlton player, yes, they cry a ball, the crowd. As the Carlton player, I thought, may have had possession. The umpire didn't seem to think so. And there'll be a ball up. Between centre and centre half forward, with Carlton into attack, they're kicking to the main scoreboard or city end of the MCG, 27 degrees. Madden, a beautiful tap. It goes to Robertson, who's grabbed, but that would have been a bit touchy, that one, if it had been played a free kick. Picked up by Collins. From half back now, Collins goes out wide, out towards Bacanara. Bacanara's taken a beauty. Taking a great mark, Bacanara. Horse Swab's by himself on the 50-metre line. He spotted him, although the foot pass is not good. In comes Dean. Swab's got to wait for the ball to bounce. He gets the handball out. The ball knocked out towards Kennedy. He's grabbed by Aitken, picked up by Kennedy. Has a shot for goal. Kennedy's kicked it, I'd say. I think he's put it through. No, he just missed. Well, looking at the flight of the ball and the reaction of the goal umpire, I really thought that may have been through for a big one. A much needed one for Hawthorn. It's a behind. Carlton 5-5, Hawthorn 4-3.
Rhys Jones kicks well, straight down the ground. He's trying to play on. Robertson was grabbed. He gave him plenty of time to get rid of it. He kicks it wide for Alvin. Given a bit of a shove by Dipier Domenico, but the ball bounces out of bounds as Alvin lost his balance. And G gave him plenty of time after saying play on. I don't know why the play on was given.
Well, he feigned the hand pass.
Thanks, Douglas. 8.5 second term. Carlton 5-5, 35. 8 points in front of Hawthorn, 4-3, 27. Chance there for Bacanara. Goes for a little swatty hand pass. Can't get it out. Now he can. Deere and Naley. Deere claims Naley's holding the ball. The umpire says, give it to me. He's going to bounce it. Left half forward for Hawthorn in front of the players' race in the bowels of the Northern Stand, the Olympic stand here at the MCG. 9 minutes gone. Carlton leading in the second term by 8 points, 35-27. Greg Deere gets up high, but it comes down to Johnson, who kicks off the right boot back towards the wing. Dipier Domenico in front of Murphy. Takes the mark. He's inside the crest. Goes for the hand pass away to the pacey Pritchard. Pritchard, the long kick from a standing start to full forward. Oh, good fist away, Silvani. Fantastic fist away from Deere. As the Hawthorn players were waiting, Brereton and Bacanara, they didn't fly. But Silvani got a positive thump to it and put it out of bounds. In the sleeveless sweater today is Stephen Silvani. 10 metres in the behind post, left forward pocket. Over the back of the pack, it's tapped to Russo. Quick snap at goal. And it's just offline. Good ruck work. Russo's quick snap just missing. Behind a Hawthorn, 4-4-28. 7 points behind the Blues, 5-5-35.
There's possibly a bit of ruck work we've seen so far in this match.
It's by Green, I think, too. The kick in by Silvani, straight up the centre. Looking for Aitken, kept his eye on the ball and takes a beauty at centre half-back. Completely outmanoeuvred Green. Aitken thought about the hand pass. He will go. Oh, straight through Johnson's fingers. Green pounces. Oh, I thought Johnson might have grabbed Green. He's hurt him too. He might have gone underneath it then Green. The handball by Kennedy, Michael Kennedy. Comes up towards Curran. Curran's hand pass. The ball knocked away from Kennedy by Johnston. A chance for Glascott. He gets a call out wide from Hunter, who showed terrific carriage. No, it's not Hunter, it's Bradley out there. Handball back to Aitken. Carlton going forward now. Sells the dummy beautifully. Aitken at half forward. Goes long to Dorotich. Oh, he gets a push in the back. The ball spills behind towards Kernahan, but the ball fisted away by Langford, and it's out of bounds left forward pocket.
While we wait for it to come in, Mark Cutler has some news on Michael Tuck.
Yes, Graham, the club doctor's been checking Michael Tuck very closely, and he appears to have a bit of concussion. His vision's been checked, and he's had a very vicious-looking instrument being thrust around his face, and he doesn't look good. He hasn't actually got up off the ground.
Okay, the snap by Glascott from the boundary throw-in is offline and through from behind for Carlton. Scoreboard at the MCG, Carlton 5-6-36, Hawthorn 4-4-28. 11 minutes in the second quarter.
Looks like Tuck might be going to the rooms, going with Hawthorn trainer. 11 minutes gone, second term, 5-6-36, Carlton. Hawthorn 4-4-28. Kicked in by Mew. He goes for Collins and Murphy out there on the southern stand wing. Murphy almost held the mark. Goes to ground. Collins with the opportunity. Tries to get round Murphy. Will get a free kick for a trip, will Collins.
Broke his legs off halfway down.
Went to handball from in front of the mark, so it must go back.
What about a report?
For a trip. Handball goes to Schwab. Back to Collins. Can Hawthorn get a bit of movement going? Collins off the left boot. No one home. Rhys Jones should mark uncontested and does it half back. Carlton player Robertson is coming off. Shane Robertson and Gleeson is going on. The kick by Rhys Jones back in towards the middle. Not covering a lot of distance, but Hunter in front, fisted away by Mew. The base of the pack flattened. Drives Hawthorn back into attack. Rhys Jones waiting underneath it. Silvani again, a fantastic thump away. Goes about 30 metres towards the boundary line. There's a Carlton player down the middle of the ground.
Hunter.
Kenny Hunter's down. Didn't see what happened. He's very groggy.
And Graham Tuckey got halfway to the rooms and has come back to the bench again.
Right half forward for Hawthorn, who trailed by, 9 points. Naley couldn't take it with him. Shoveled out, two hands. Did it go? No. Picked up by Dean. Dean kicks high. Getting underneath it, Dipier Domenico. Strong hands, and the Big Dipper takes the mark. Goes for the long handball over the top to Mew. Mew with a hurried kick from inside the centre square towards full forward. Fisted away this time by Alban. Brereton will be first to the ball. Can they shepherd for him? Yes, they do. Go short, says Kennedy. Oh, he goes over his head. Chance now for Kennedy. Can he knock it on? No, he can't. Yes, it comes out to Curran. Left foot snap. Goal. No. Cross the face. Behind.
Stopped. And check side and skidded. But unlucky is Curran.
4-5-29 Hawthorn, 5-6-36 Carlton. 13 minutes gone, second term.
Oh, shocking kick in by Rhys Jones, Graham. Carlton outnumbered out there 2-1. Oh, Greg there is there.
Did well.
Gleeson, yeah, Gleeson tipped over. A good hip and shoulder by a Carlton player on a Hawthorn player. And there'll be a ball up on the crest on the outer side. It was
Curran nearly beheaded. If you don't mind.
A ball up on the wing on the southern side. Greg Deere in ruck, along with Madden. Deere wins that one. A beaut palm out towards Curran. He's got a break on the field now. Can he pick it up if he can? He should have probably gone short towards Swab, but he's gone long inside the 50-metre square. Silvani again punches the ball outside 50. Coming in as Bradley. Fight, but the ball is over and out for boundary throw in, 65 metres away from Hawthorn's goal. They're kicking to the punt road end. It's on the southern half-forward flank, about 65 metres out from goal.
Boundary throw in, so Paul Deere comes up from the full forward line to contest the forward half ruck work against Justin Madden, a world record short one. Comes back to Dean. Dean close to the boundary line, clears towards the wing. Over the top comes Kernahan and Langford. A good handball from Pritchard. Back to Langford, puts Hawthorn back into attack. The high kick, Langford. Up the half forward, Alvin High, couldn't hold it. A great effort. Ball spills, Aitken playing well. Comes away with it with strong defensive work off the left boot. Up the half forward, Ayres and Meldrum. Fisted away by Ayres. Out towards Langford. Handballs back to Collins, who's been a pretty good Hawthorn player.
Yes.
Goes into the middle. It's all Hawthorn. It's marked by Schwab. Breaks out of a tackle. Goes short towards Dipper Domenico. One-hander. The big Dipper runs just outside 50. Fires at goal to Brereton. Brereton brought down. Can he kick it off the ground? No, he can't. Forced through by Rhys Jones. Great work by the Rhys. Behind to Hawthorn. Rushed. The Blues are 5-6-36. Hawthorn 4-6-30. 14 and a half minutes gone. Second term. The Blues lead by 6 points.
Well, it's tough and you've got to earn your kicks in grand finals, but Hawthorn aren't earning too many, if you know what I mean.
Kick in by Rhys Jones. Doesn't travel all that far, but Madden marks outside 50 for Carlton. Handball across to Johnston. Johnston's kick now from half-back. Something happened behind play. No, I saw a head of roar.
Jenkins mark.
The mark going to Jenke at centre half-back for Hawthorn. Had a quick look back. Now Jenke at centre half-back. Out there is Swab. Naily coming in late, but Swab handball over the top to Russo. Hawthorn going forward now. Russo into Brereton. Behind will be Rhys Jones. Punches. Brereton grab. No free kick. No free kick for Brereton. The ball spills out towards Johnson again. He's playing well. Looking for Naily. Naily's marked on the southern wing. Gee, Brereton unlucky there not to get a free kick. Kick by Naily from wing towards the practice pitch area. The ball punched down beautifully by Madden. Onto Meldrum. One bounce inside 50. Goes short towards Hunter, who'll come and takes it. Third in line, Hunter. Had just floated over the top of Abbott and Dorotich. And Hunter swooping on the ball. Yeah, Chris Mew knocked out, KO'd last week. Cannot raise the gallop so far in this match. Now Hunter, 35 metres out. Main score, but he's kicked it off the side of his boot, and I think it might be out of bounds. No, it's just snuck in for a behind, but straight from the boot. It never looked likely. Scoreboard at the MCG. Carlton 5-7-37. Hawthorn 4-6-30. 16 minutes in the second quarter as Ayres kicks to himself.
And where does he go? He hasn't got many options. It's Melbourne on a Saturday afternoon. Tommy Albin playing a blinder on Buckenara. Has it crest. Has a bit of shepherding. Great work by Silvani again as he's hurt. Silvani's hurt his leg. Buckenara goes down. Ball underneath him. Silvani's hurt his leg. He's limping as he smothered that kick by Schwab. His defensive skills magnificent. But Stephen Silvani is hurt. 17 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the second term, and the Blues lead by 7 points.
It's not the one I think he had the operation on, Graham. The ball knocked down by Madden, taken away by Aitken, who's playing well. He's had a good final series. The ball touched as he kicks it right across the half-back line, and players not really overexerting when they realised that the ball was going to beat them. And
Trainer signalled.
Physio going out. David Mackay. Yeah, the physio. Thank you. Boundary throw in front of Bay 14. Paul Deere going up. The ball rebound off Schwab's fingers. The ball comes to ground, picked up by Curran. Handball's out of the pack to Green. Gives it across to Buckenara. Hand pass almost in front. That one from Buckenara. Down there is Dean, who handballs right across the full-back line. Now, here's a chance for Carlton. Rhys Jones, Meldrum by himself. He can have 6 bounces. He's had one. He's on the half-back line. Up into the wing on the member side. Delays, only had 1 bounce. Delayed his kick. No one ready to kick it to because Kernahan's outnumbered 2-1. The ball comes down towards Abbott, is it, or Greg Deere. Greg Deere on half-back. A lackadaisical kick, but it might be okay as Dipper comes in and marks, plays on. He wanted support there from Kennedy, wasn't forthcoming. Here goes long. Karen's marked 20 metres out from goal. Well, it came off as Dipper wanted the hand pass to Kennedy. Kennedy stopped running. So Dipper was forced to kick, and luck's a fortune because Karen's marked at centre-half forward about 20 metres out from goal. This will make it a point the difference in the grand final. The kick by Peter Karen is on its way, and he's missed it. It's still a goal the difference. Scoreboard at the MCG, Carlton 5-7, Hawthorn 4-7.
3 behinds to Peter Curran in the grand final. 19 minutes gone, second term. 1 goal the difference. 5 marks to Di Domenico this quarter. Rhys Jones, a perfect kick. Loose marking again by the Hawthorn players as Aitken marks at half-back, southern stand side. The Blues 5-7, Hawthorn 4-7 on a scorching hot September day. Running onto the ball is Gleeson. Paul Deere right down there to tap the ball away from him and put it out of bounds between wing and half forward for the Blues. Justin Madden is going to have a spell at full forward. Deere has followed him back. So it's Dorotich doing a bit of ruck work for Carlton. He is against Abbott at the 20-minute mark of the second term. Dorotich goes up, the ball to ground, comes to Langford. Langford gets a hurried kick back towards the wing. Spill's okay for Hawthorn because Kennedy takes the mark. John Kennedy on the crest, southern stand side, 15 metres, which is a generous one. He doesn't take it. Long handball back into the centre towards Ayres. Ayres from the centre, that's a good long kick towards full forward. Rhys Jones in front. Oh, he takes the mark. Great move by the Blue Baggers. Here's Meldrum again, a shocking kick, backing towards the centre. Okay, the bounce for Abbott, good shepherding. It comes to Dipper. He handballs to Green, a bad one. Green tries to knock it out for Abbott. There's Meldrum with pace. Getting away. Chance now for Carlton's Michael Kennedy. He picks up. Gets back. He's going to be tackled by Platten just as he gets boot the ball. Up to half forward. Hunter fisted away. At the fall of the ball though is Gleeson. Can he pick it up? Yes, he does cleverly. Goes for the left boot. Up towards the player coming out was Nailey with a sleeveless sweater. He's tricked off. Comes back to Nailey. Fumble by Langford. Nailey under his arm. He went too far. Langford grabs him just as he got beat the ball, and it's a behind. Nailey now to sleeveless sweater. And Carlton go to 5-8, 38, 7 points in front of Hawthorn, 4-7, 31, 20.5 minutes second term.
Kenzie on the ground, replacing Justin Madden. And Morris is still on the bench after getting that jarred knee. He's got a huge bandage on it. The kick by Hawthorn finds Paul Deere on the wing. Running down the ground is Curran. Curran's got his eye on it. Takes a beauty on 50. Curran, oh yes, he's going to be paid the mark, and rightly so, as Kennedy swooped on the ball. Now Peter Curran will kick from 55 metres out. Brereton's down in the goal square for the big mark. Rhys Jones, I don't think is 100% Rhys Jones. His kicking's been very much astray. The kick by Curran's going to be about 10 or 12 metres short. Up goes Dorotich, playing in defence now. Thumps the ball towards the boundary line, and it's out of bounds, right forward pocket at the punt road end with Hawthorn deep into attack.
Morris to come back on for Hawthorn, and Paul Deere coming off. 21.5 minutes gone, second term. Boundary throw in, Dorotich rucking, gets it down to Rhys Jones in front of the pack. He goes for the safety of the boundary line as Michael Kennedy comes in, and it's out of bounds. Paul Deere off, Morris back on for Hawthorn. Carlton 5-8, 38, lead the Hawks 4-7, 31. It will be a survival of the fittest this afternoon for everyone. Throwing a world record, grabbed by Dean. He's caught with the ball. Ball spills free. Umpire Robinson no doubt will bounce that one. 30 metres from the goal. Hawthorn is attacking at the punt road end. The ball thrown in a long way. Went to Dean. He grabbed it and didn't make much effort to get rid of it. As Robinson comes in to bounce it. Barry Gavin, the Hawthorn physio, working overtime. Going back to have a look at Peter Russo, who's playing on Mark Nally and doing a pretty good job. Bounce favours Dorotich. He smashes it back towards Hawthorn's goal. Platten goes for, he gets a bit of a shove as he tried to get a handball away. Still there, Platten working hard, but the umpire's blown the whistle for a ball up. 1 on about 4. Johnny Platten working hard. I thought he tried to get it away to John Kennedy, who was skirting the packs. 22.5 minutes second quarter. Carlton 5-8, 38. Hawthorn 4-7, 31.
Good defensive work by Silvani too, Graham. The Water Boys are working overtime. The Swab gets a kick. No, it wasn't Swab, it's Platten. Kicking towards the forward pocket. Up goes Brereton, or dropped the sitter. That's the second one he's dropped today. Well, when I say a sitter, it was a fairly hard one, but I think it should have been taken.
Should have.
and that would have been a gift goal. It would have levelled the score, but Carlton lead by a goal, 5-8 to 4-8. The kick in to Rhys Jones. It would have come from Silvani, as I was looking up at the scoreboard, and the kick by Rhys Jones, finding the safety of the boundary on the southern side for a throw-in. Carlton 5-8, Hawthorn 4-8, boundary throw-in.
Just 2 goals in this term. The Blues have added 2 goals to Hawthorn's 0.
What a classic encounter it's been so far. The boundary throw-in, Dorotich out there with Abbott. Abbott gets the tap, but he does direct it. It goes to Pritchard in the finish. Pritchard's kick towards half forward. Up comes Kennedy. Kennedy, well, he made his own play. He's done well. Picks it up on half forward. Goes towards Brereton. It's on the bounce. He's fumbling badly, Brereton. He gets a push in the back. No free kick. In comes Morris. He goes to ground, gets a push in the back. The ball comes out to Silvani. Silvani will find McKenzie just on. McKenzie, can he get around? Let's see, Greg there, he can. Handball over to Fraser Murphy. Murphy now with Collins coming in. Murphy goes long. From behind it'll be Kernahan or Mew. I thought he had it, but he left it behind. Picked up by Hunter. Snapshot for goal. Kernahan's underneath it. It's on the bounce. Kernahan this way, that way. Has he kicked it through? He might have kicked it in mid-air. Kernahan's kicked it. Well, it went like a rocket from about 15 metres out. I'd love to see the replay. I'm not sure whether he even took possession of it. He might have just socketed the ball in mid-air. Love to see it because it was slick as can be. Carlton lead by 2 goals. Replay not up yet. Carlton 6-8-44. Here it comes now as the kick by Hunter goes in towards goal. And let's see. Oh, yeah, when he kicked it, he's 8. Hawthorn 4-8.
24.5 minutes gone, second term, Douglas.
Yes, I think he just sort of guided a little bit with one hand, Graham.
Tap down, kick by Michael Kennedy, rebounds okay for Green. Green in the centre for Hawthorn. The long kick straight down the ground. Brereton and Buckenara are both quiet players. Nearly a fine mark to Alvin. Good shepherding. Great play by Alvin. The ball spills free though to Buckenara. Gets it to goal. What's he done? He's played a free kick for a push in the back.
Well,
and Brereton can't believe it.
Oh, Brereton can believe it all right because he's getting nothing.
Morris off and Paul Deere back on for Hawthorn.
Morris
limping badly.
And I'm speechless.
No, you're not. You're not speechless. But it's hard to understand just what's going on out there in the minds of a man in white.
Into time on by 20 seconds. Alvin is making speechless. Oh, great mark. Oh, not paid to Hunter. Oh, that's the Aiken goes ground. Should have been a free kick. The ball knocked out of the pack by Curran. It goes to Greg Deere. His handball intercepted by Dennis. Kick off the ground by Ayres. It runs up the shoulder of Green. Comes on towards Di Domenico. Kennedy of Carlton battling well. Ball late call. The ball picked up by Green. Good defensive work by Glascott. And the ball is over and out. Smokey, are you still speechless?
25 minutes and 50 seconds gone, second term. The Blues by 12 points, 6-8-44 to 4-8-32 in the 1987 VFL Grand Final. Ball back into play. Deere rucking against Dorotich. The ball at the back of the pack. Dorotich, he tries to crash his way through. Rugby style. Chance for Murphy. He tried to crash his way through. Aitken has a fresh air kick at the ball. Kennedy in there working hard. And it's going to be bounced. He's about... no comment as Pritchard gets up the bottom man. On the crest.
Time on, Graham. Second quarter, about 1 minute and 25 seconds.
The Blues by 12 points. Bounce favours Deere. Dorotich does well. Rebounds towards Murphy. Should get a free kick for being grabbed. He will. Murphy on the crest. Grandstand wing. Fraser Murphy for Carlton. In towards centre half forward. Hunter the target. Abbott there with Mew. The ball spills. Overrun by Johnston. McKenzie throws himself at the ball. He's bottled up at centre half forward and he was going to be free kick for holding. That's about the first time today that's been paid in Cleveland. The holding the ball.
Talk about to come on, Graham.
Yes, it is the first time that Robinson's given a free kick against a player for doing that, and he should have given more.
Mew from centre half back for Hawthorn, straight down the ground. He looks a distressed player. Dorotich uncontested takes the mark at centre half back for the Blues.
Yes, I'll agree with that. Distressed exactly.
Short. Silvani marks in the centre of the ground. Goes for the long kick. Greg Deere, another distressed player coming off, or backing himself in as Langford, and he marks in front of Kernahan. Did well. Abbott makes a bit of space at half-back. He goes a bit further towards Di Domenico. Fraser Murphy over the back. The ball spills. Leave it for me, says the Big Dipper, because he's raw tucks just on the ground. He goes for the handball over the top to Collins. Collins has got a couple of options. He's going to run it himself. No, he doesn't. He goes for a foot pass now. In towards Buckenara, who gets a reasonable bounce. Buckenara, this way, that away in the centre. Goes to Brereton, who's having a poor day. Rhys Jones comes over there. Brereton's got it this time. He marks, plays on, fires from half forward, and he has put it through for a behind. Kennedy saying, I'm out there in front of goal. Tuck was running back into the square. Brereton's first score. Hawks by 11 points in arrears. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 4-9-33. 28 minutes. Second term. Glascott goes in short.
I tell you what, Graham, Brereton wanted to do the spectacular thing there. He'd made his mind up. The kick in by Kennedy. Silvani's out there. Spider-Man controls it. Didn't take the mark, but terrific poise by Silvani. Kicks the ball to Meldrum. He wants a good bounce. Jenke, good harassment there. Punches the ball away. Abbott is out there. Kicks off the ground, and it's half-time in the 1987 grand final. Carlton lead by 11 points here. The scoreboard at half-time sees Carlton 6-8-44. to Hawthorn 4-9-33 by 11 points after Hawthorn led by 3 at quarter time. The centre bounce, not a bad one by umpire Robinson. Madden wins, gives Carlton first use of the ball, but Nailey can't do much with it. Kernahan, the big hip and shoulder on the Hawthorn player who's gone down. The ball kicked up towards the half-forward line. A chance here for Kennedy. Kennedy gets the hand pass away to Platten. Lumbering after him is another number 44, Justin Madden. Now Platten on the half-forward line. Goes in towards Curran. Curran one grab, but not the second. He gets a push. Silvani pushed him, and Curran will take the free kick. Swab was the man who got hit front on. A bit shaky in the centre.
Well, not front on. It was the hip and shoulder, Peter, by Kernahan. A good clean one, but it shook him.
Curran on the members' flank, half-forward flank, will kick from 50 metres out. The city end. Curran drop punt on its way. It's going to fade a little bit. Hawthorn going to attack. The ball punched away by Carlton's defence again. Taking a leaf out of Melbourne's book. And Hawthorn go to 4-10-34, trailing by 10 points. Carlton 6-8-44.
Ball kicked in by Rhys Jones. He comes to the grandstand side. Deere does well to fist away. It goes down to Glascott. Oh, he's beautifully dispossessed by Platten. Platten close to the boundary line. In towards full forward. Just offline. Chance for Silvani. Out of bounds after being touched close to the behind post. Good play by Platten to take it away from Glascott. 1.5 minutes, the third quarter of the 87 grand final. And Hawthorn trail by 10 points. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 4-10-34. Madden pushes it in front of the pack. Rebounds to Dean of Carlton. He kicks wide to the wing. Southern stand side. Langford in front of Kernahan. Takes the mark on his chest. Big Deer calling forward across the point of the square. And he goes for the foot pass. Gets the quick hand pass away to Deer to Pritchard. A kick to full forward. Curran outnumbered. It spills to the back of the pack. A free kick over the shoulder. Back to Carlton. Justin Madden in the last line of defence. Goes to the southern stand side. Sun worrying the players. Oh, they misjudged it badly. Langford a mid-air kick in towards full forward. Curran takes the mark. Langford kicked the bouncing ball, and it went 40 metres, I'd say, well inside, from outside 50 to about 15 metres from goal. And I'm not going to look at this kick because I've got Peter Curran for 4 behinds. Slight angle. Madden the man on the mark. Curran kicking to the goal at the big scoreboard end. That time he has put it through for a goal. The first goal this time going to Hawthorn after Carlton had kicked the first goal in both the first and second quarters. 4 points the difference. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 5-10-40.
Yes, well, that was so important for Hawthorn. Perhaps a little lucky, but very shrewd play by Langford then, because no Carlton player anticipated what Langford might do, but Curran found himself alone, and that was a strange situation for him to be in. And he made the most of the easy opportunity. Good start. 4 points behind the Hawks.
Back in the centre, umpire Rowan saw us to restart play. Greg Deere gets to tap. The ball thumped on by Russo. Brereton led the Carlton play underneath the ball. It's inside 50 for Hawthorn. A chance for Aiken. Brereton through the pack. Gets the handball away to Dipia Domenico. Elvin crashed him from behind. Rhys Jones caught. No free kick. The ball knocked out by Carlton. It goes to Bradley. Elvin still hovering. Hawthorn trying to get possession. It's on the 50-metre line at centre half forward. It spills out towards Nailey. Gets around Schwab. Gets a break, Nailey. Goes long. Oh, Carlton have got the numbers. Hunter. Oh, he should have marked it. He let it go. Oh, collision. Let's see. Dorotich is there. A chance for Mew to clear the ball away. He dribbles it outside the 15-metre line. It's dribbling towards the boundary line underneath bay 13 for a boundary throw-in.
It's a shake of Kenny Hunter you got from Langford, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, the physical clashes. Carlton 6-8-44. Hawthorn 5-10-40. A boundary throw-in. Carlton into attack. And let's see. Madden gets the tap. A fairly feeble one, though. Almost at his feet. The ball comes out. It spills towards Abbott. Abbott's kick, I think, was off the body. Yes, it was, of somebody. Bradley gets the handball away. Swab waiting for the ball, but it's bouncing fickily. In goes Fraser Murphy, who's done very little today. The ball taken away by Pritchard. Here's the kick is marked by Kennedy. Gets it out to Platten. Platten's put past, not a good one. The chance here now, see, it's Green and Meldrum. Meldrum wins. A left foot kick. Oh, yes, Kernahan dives. He's taken the mark inside 50, but he had to shield his eyes from the sun to pick up the flight of the ball. He'll kick from about 48 metres out. Green a bit slow on that occasion. Now Stephen Kernahan, as Carlton lead by 4 points in the grand final, 5 minutes in the third quarter, really had to shield the sun. About 28 degrees.
Captain's goal wanted. Crucial, this one.
He's at centre half forward, 48 metres out at the punt road end. Stephen Kernahan, drop punts for goal. It's swirling and... Has he kicked it? I think he has. He's put it through. Kernahan's second goal. And Carlton get the goal back. They lost just a couple of minutes ago to lead by 10 points. Carlton 7-8, Hawthorn 5-10.
Yes, well, you said it, Peter. A definite lack of pace and quite obvious then, Russell Green. Although that opportunity shouldn't have come Meldrum's way had Hawthorn been capable enough a few seconds before that.
One handball too many, Biggs, was it?
Yes.
Ball back in the centre, 5.5 minutes third term. Carlton 50, Hawthorn 40. The Blues by 10 points. Good bounce. Comes off the head, I think, of Greg Deere. Russo being carried forward. Buckenara gets a bit of a shove. Kicked off the ground, I think, by Di Domenico towards half forward. Brereton takes the mark. 35 metres from goal directly in front. That kicked off the ground by Dipper. It looked almost like it was. Going forward again, Brereton goes back. He's changed his boots at half-time. See if it can bring him a little bit better luck, because he didn't play particularly impressive football in the first half. Full marks to David Rhys-Jones, who kept him out of business. Dermot Brereton punting towards the big scoreboard goal. Hooked it badly. And through for a behind. Goal umpire Doug Purr says a behind to Brereton. He's second of the match. 9 points the difference. Hawthorn 5-11-41. Carlton 7 goals, 8-50. 6.5 minutes third term. Silvani goes short to half-back, and Shane Robertson takes the mark for Carlton. Has a bounce. Coming round in front of the member stand. Good pass to Dennis, who gets in front of Ayres, now playing on him. Dennis marks in the shadows of the northern stand. Close to the grandstand wing in towards centre half forward. Sunawari. Kernahan from behind. Mew doesn't know where he is, but he falls over the ball. Comes out towards Big Madden. He loses it. Mew trying hard to get rid of it. Bradley takes it. Gets it out towards Johnson, who gets a bit of a shove. Schwab will clear for Hawthorn. Has a bounce. Everyone had stopped. Gee, they're going to be tired by the end of the day. Here comes Brereton. Over the top. The ball spills. Chance for Rhys-Jones. Dennis is there. Free kick to Carlton. Rhys-Jones, umpire Robinson said he was grabbed when not in possession of the football. 7 minutes and 15 seconds third term, and the Blues lead by 9 points.
Kick by Rhys-Jones up towards the 50-metre line. Kernahan being held, but dives. Picked up by Murphy as the Carlton touched off the boot. Underneath it was Hunter, but he's got to play on. I don't think he heard the call. Going in hard was Bradley. There'll be a ball up about 30 metres out from goal. I don't think he heard the call.
Touched off the boot.
It was touched, but I don't think he heard the call. He didn't seem to be eager.
Straight away it came from source.
Yes, I know, but he was just emphasising that to Hunter, who was puzzled as to why he didn't get the mark.
Carlton into attack 30 metres out from goal. A chance for Dennis. A snapshot for goal. Offline and through from behind from 25 metres out. The scoreboard at the MCG, 28 degrees, 8 minutes in the third term. Carlton 7-9-51, lead by 10. Hawthorn 5-11-41.
Ayres kicks in for Hawthorn. He comes slightly to the northern stand side. Di Domenico the target. Over the back to Madden. The big fellow goes for a little dappy right foot kick up towards half forward. Taken by Langford. He's well tackled. Ball spills. Gnarly the hand pass to Meldrum. 40 metres out. He spears it in low, but he's well offline. And it bounces out of bounds near the behind post. Should have made more of that opportunity, should Paul Meldrum.
That's been the story of the Carlton game all day. Opportunities that they've squandered.
8.5 minutes third term. The Blues 7-9-51 lead. Hawthorn 5-11-41 by a margin of 10 points. Ball back into play. Langford against Kernahan. Langford the tap to Platt. Oh, he handball straight to Dennis. He misses. Again from point-blank range. Another behind. Dennis has kicked 2 behinds in about 30 seconds, and the Blues lead by 11 points. That was their margin at half-time. 7-10-52 to Hawthorn, 5-11-41.
The VFL Grand Final around Australia and around the world on ABC, coming from 3-0 in Melbourne. The kick-in by Chris Mew from the Jollymont, from the punt road end. Up goes Kernahan. He couldn't mark it, but he punches the ball and makes his own play. Sweating on him was Ayres, who gave him a hip and shoulder, but he was sweating on Kernahan
getting that final possession, which didn't come Kernahan's way. The ball is out of bounds, left half forward flank, 45 metres out from Carlton's goal. Up goes Abbott, but he only succeeds in punching the ball to Dennis, who's finessing, looking for a free kick. Let's see, Pritchard, no, it's Collins there for Hawthorn, and there'll be a ball up 50 metres out from Carlton's goal. 9.5 minutes, third term, Carlton 52, Hawthorn 41. A great struggle. Did Dorotich, I thought he might have put his hand on the back of Abbott, but he was held anyway. Abbott is going to get the free kick on the 50-metre defensive line. Up there is Aitken, also Greg Deere. The ball spills behind. Murphy looking for a free kick. The umpire running the wrong way. It won't be Murphy. It'll be Robertson. Robertson's got the free kick for being held. A drop punt in towards Hunter. Nailey looking for the spoils. There's none there. Punched away by Mew. He comes to Rhys Jones. Handball across now. I thought he might go to Michael Kennedy. He winds up Rhys Jones. Goes for a long kick. Jenke underneath it. Takes a good mark for Hawthorn at centre half back. Jenke at centre half back. Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 5-11. Jenke sees Collins, the foot pass is not well directed. In comes Dean, but he gives a handball. Collins over the top to Kennedy. Kennedy of Hawthorn, and Bradley comes in and works the ball over and out, right in front of our broadcast position on the northern side of the MCG. Carlton by 11 points, 10.5 minutes in the third term, in the big one at the G.
Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 5-11. Madden goes in against Greg Deere. Over the back of the packet comes to Schwab. Free kick going to Greg Deere for ruck infringement. On the crest, just on the defensive side of the grandstand wing, 15 metres. Bradley and Murphy a little bit too near the area. The long hand pass Deere. Off and running is Pritchard. He has one bounce in the centre. Off the left hand. He goes wide for Curran. Silvani to spoil. Curran over his head. Quick recovery by both Alvin and Silvani. Alvin pushing the ball along in front of him as Brereton comes in. Well done, Tommy Alvin. But he hasn't got a good bounce. Comes back to Curran. Curran gets it across to Pritchard. Little kick in towards Green. Green runs across the 50-metre line and fires off the side of his boot. Tuck getting underneath it with Aitken. Good spoil, Aitken. Tuck concussed. Can he get it out to someone? He does. He shovels to Kennedy. Kennedy kicks his third goal. 5 points the difference. Tremendous work by the Hawthorn skipper. Tuck, how did he get it out to Kennedy? He was 1 on 3. Hawthorn had 2 moosmen if he could get it out, and he did. And Kennedy kicks his third, and the Hawks go to 6-11, 47. Carlton 7-10, 52, and after so much good work by Alvin, he got a cruel bounce over there at the crucial moment.
So superior of Carlton been so far in this match at this third quarter, and remembering that Carlton should be a lot fresher is so important to them, and if they're going to win this match they'll want to be a little further in front at three-quarter time, because the Hawks are giving a big yelp and squawking at the same time.
Carlton by 5 points, a very high bounce. Up goes Justin Madden, gives it to, is it Nailey with short sleeves now? Yep. It is Kernahan lending a bit of weight there, and there'll be a ball up just on the attacking side of the centre with Carlton into attack. Umpire Ian Robinson. Carlton 7-10, Hawthorn 6-11. Dynamic struggle in a classic grand final. Madden, he got a call from somebody. That somebody was Alvin, but he palmed it beautifully. Gives Bradley the run at the ball. Pritchard there. Bradley inside 50. 40 metres out. He steadies and has kicked it. Craig Bradley has put it through on the run. That's his second goal. Tremendous ruck work by Justin Madden. Started it. I think he started a couple before, which resulted in goals. Carlton 8-10, 58 by 11 points now. Hawthorn 6-11, 47.
Just a little bit of
7 points, 58 to 47. Madden, a big fist to it. The ball stands up on its end. Kernahan for the tap towards Johnston. Looking for a free. Falls over the ball. Gets it back towards Kernahan, who's trying to barge his way through. Ball, they cry. Spills out towards Shane Robertson. His handball is intercepted by Ayres. Ayres clears wide towards the wing on the southern stand side. Tucker's out there with Aitken. And the ball has beaten them across the line and out of bounds. Southern stand wing. Carlton 8-10, 58. Hawthorn 6-11, 47. 30 minutes and 40 seconds gone in the third term. The ball to be put back into play. Madden against Greg Deere at the boundary throw-in. Madden, neither very positive. Chance for Nailey, now starting to work clear. He has a bounce. He's running away from Buckenara. Off the right boot, Nailey high in towards half forward. The ball, well, it bounces inside the line and then spins over. And so it's going to be thrown in at right half forward for the Blues. Just outside 50. Carlton 8-10, 58. Hawthorn 6-11, 47. The Blues by 11 points. Ball back into play. Dorotich and Abbott who gets the tap down. Pritchard working hard but can't break clear. He's bottled up by Bradley. And the ball to be bounced just outside 50 in this third term. Hawthorn kicking to the main scoreboard goal. Carlton to the punt road end. Ball is bounced. Dorotich against Abbott. Spills free to Collins of Hawthorn. He clears back towards the wing. Madden is there. Can't hold the mark. Yes, he can. Not paid. Yes, he has been. On the crest. On the wing. He plays on quickly off the left boot, the big fellow. Madden in towards centre half forward. Ball tapped away from Kernahan by Langford. Spills free. Knock forward for Carlton. First there. Oh, Meldon. He gets a cruel bounce. Meldon kicks a goal. Cruel bounce for Jenke in the square. And Meldrum kicks his first goal, and the Blues have kicked away the lead by 17 points. That's their biggest margin since in the first term when they led by 21. Carlton 9-10-64. Hawthorn 6-11-47. The Blues by 17 points.
Yes, poor Jenke. He was doing everything that the good backman should. He was in front, looked like being first to the ball, but it cruelly bounced, came back over the shoulder, and of course that gave the opportunity to Meldrum, who just only had to gather and go on with the business, which he duly did.
Midway through this third quarter, 15.5 minutes up on the clock. Carlton 64, Hawthorn 47. The centre bounce, Murphy, but the ball goes to Di Domenico. He's tackled, I was about to say perfectly, and I will stick with that comment. I thought he was tackled beautifully, but the replay going up, and I still say he was tackled expertly. He's got the free kick, it doesn't matter. Now, Di Domenico from half-back. All Brereton's made space across the half-forward line, but he can't mark it. Rhys Jones is going to clear the ball away with consummate ease. Foot pass, beautiful, taken by Robertson. Robertson to Dorotich. Dorotich stretches, but the mark not paid, and rightly so. The ball reefed out. It comes out towards Ayres. Gets the handball across to Tuck, who gets sunburnt today with those bare arms. Looking for Kennedy on the point of the square. They've got the numbers here. Hawthorn. Dipper gets possession. Oh, he's got a double back. He runs out of partners. No. Gets the handball onto Green. Green's left foot kick. It's fading towards the pocket. Brereton there with Silvani. Brereton goes to ground. Silvani tackling hard to punch the ball away, and it's gone through from behind. It was kicked by
Russell Green.
Graham. Carlton 9-10, Hawthorn 6-12. It's 64-48, 16 3/4 minutes in the third quarter.
The Blues by 16 points. Rhys Jones looking, searching. Not quite sure which way to go.
Not much, he's not.
Now he goes for Big Madden, who gets a bit of a shove from Greg Deere. The ball tapped away, comes to Collins, who gets out of a high one. Handballs back to Buckenara for one of his rare possessions. Buckenara, a high kick. Curran and Brereton both go for it when one of them should have perhaps stayed down. Ball spills. The Carlton player slipped over, but Platten can't take advantage of it. It's out of bounds some 10 metres from the behind post. Left forward pocket for Hawthorn, going to the beneath the big scoreboard. They trail by 16 points. The Blues have got a pretty good grip on the game as Madden comes over the top of Kennedy. They're wrestling for it. The hand pass comes away from Madden. Green puts himself in. Goes for a foot pass, or it goes back over the head of Collins. Cruel bounce for Buckenara, but Hawthorn working hard, have the numbers at the ball. None more than the skipper Tuck. Off the long, raking right foot kick. It might be a goal, but Rhys Jones hammers it into the goal post. Tremendous defensive work by the Blues. The kick from Tuck not quite going to clear the pack, but Rhys Jones got a fist to it and knocked it into the goal post. Hawthorn 6-13-49, 15 points behind as Carlton 9-10-64. Johnston kicks the ball to himself, goes wide towards the wing, southern stand side, too far for Aitken. Knocked by Ayres to Tuck. Tuck back to Ayres. Ayres goes short to Green. Inco over the back comes Michael Kennedy. No free kick for that one. He shovels the ball forward. Out towards Fraser Murphy. He's caught with the ball. Platten gets the hand pass away to Schwab. Schwab from inside the centre square. Goes towards Curran. Silvani is there. Working hard, Silvani. Superb long arms. Controls the ball beautifully. Goes for the boundary line, but he's put it out of bounds on the full. Di Domenico to take the free kick in front of the members stand at half forward for the Hawks. Hawthorn 6-13-49. Carlton 9-10-64. He goes short to Schwab, and Schwab gets the mark. Despite the defensive work, he goes back into the pocket towards Kennedy, and Kennedy takes the mark 40 metres from goal. Oh, he goes back to Deere. Gained no distance, decreased the angle, and I would have thought John Kennedy may have been better placed to take that kick than Greg Deere. 18 minutes and 50 seconds gone. Third term of the 87 grand final. Carlton 64 lead Hawthorn 49.
He can kick a football, this bloke, don't worry.
And he has. He's kicked at Douglas Bigelow right through the centre. You are quite right. From on the 50-metre line, a beautiful kick by Greg Deere. Hawthorn 7-13-55. Carlton 9-10-64. The Blues by 9 points. 19 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third term.
And break clear. They did by 17 points. And now they lead by 64 points to 55. The centre bounce. Up goes Madden, supreme in the ruck. Kick in mid-air by Russell Green, but underneath it is it Glascott, who's marked at half-back for Carlton. Hockley thought about the hand pass to Alvin. Now from a standing start, he goes for a long kick. Oh, nearly a mark to Kernahan. Kick off the ground by Ayres. It comes up towards Greg there. Meldrum tries to tackle. Here's hand pass of Beauty on to Tuck. Tuck's put past, looking for Kennedy. Takes a Butte mark on the wing on the crest. John Kennedy of Hawthorn. Oh, his kick fading. It's a shocking kick straight on to the chest of Michael Kennedy. One Kennedy to another. Kennedy at halfback in front of the MCC stand. The kick by Kennedy looking for Madden. I think he flicked the ball away. I'm sure he didn't see it in the end. The sun got in his eyes. Goes to Nailey. Well grabbed. Hand pass intercepted. Picked up by Johnston. A torpedo kick towards 15 metres. Let's see. Up went Dennis. Saying down to Sutter. Taps the ball out to Dennis. Dennis now inside 50. Can kick a goal for Carlton. It's on its way, but it's swung. No, it's offline. And it's through for a behind. Kick by Richard Dennis. He's third behind. Scoreboard, Carlton 9-11. Hawthorn 7-13. Carlton by 10 points.
Abbott to kick in for Hawthorn. He goes straight down the ground looking for Langford. Kernahan is there. Dipper Domenico. The ball spills. The big dipper. Johnson gets it away. Picked up by Shane Robertson. He's unloaded. Pritchard gets it back to Schwab. Schwab's hand pass intercepted by Shane Robertson. Oh, a scrubby old kick along the ground to Bradley. Bradley sells a dummy. Fires at goal. And he's put it through for his second for the quarter. Luck's a fortune there for Robertson as he was tackled. He got a scrubby old kick along the ground, but it went to Bradley. And he made no mistake, that's his third goal. And as I said, he's second for the term. 21.5 third term. And the Blues 10-11-71. Lead Hawthorn 7-13-55 by 16 points.
Yes, it may have been luck of fortune, but still the good players can get them when you want them. And Bradley's been able to glide away on a couple of occasions. And no better glide in that situation was Bradley in kicking that goal. Just snuck away from the opponent and gave himself the easiest of opportunity.
Third term in progress, just under 22 minutes on the clock. The centre bounce by umpire Robinson. Madden, he lost sight of that one. Coming through is Dipper Domenico, but the ball rebounds cruelly for him after he made the play to Nailey. Nailey goes to half forward, but Langford for Hawthorn marks at centre half back. Straight up the centre. Who's there? Brereton. And also Rhys Jones. Brereton stretched, but couldn't mark it. It wasn't markable in the finish. Rhys Jones handball out to Glascott. And something happened behind play. Was it Brereton who may have just dealt with Rhys Jones? I didn't see it. But it's certainly against Brereton because the free kick up the ground is going to be taken by Craig Bradley of Carlton. On the wing on the southern side. Kernahan and Langford. Kernahan's got his eyes on it, but Langford came across the front of him and it came off fingers over and out for a boundary throw in. Carlton 10-11-71, so they've skipped 16 points clear of Hawthorn. I think their biggest margin so far has been 17 points. Hawthorn 7-13-55.
Boundary thrown, I think 21 in the first quarter. The ball tapped down. The hand pass comes from Russo, a long one out to Pritchard. Pritchard gives it onto the running Schwab. Schwab near the boundary line, southern stand side. Steps around Johnson, kicks to half forward. Brereton this time is behind Rhys Jones, who almost held the mark. He slips over, but he's playing a magicianal game. Gets the ball back. It comes out to Gleeson. Gleeson, good handball under Robertson, running beautifully to Blues. Robertson from the centre. Off the wobbly left foot, it fades a little bit. Bounce eludes Hunter. Chance for Meldrum. Cruel bounce for him. Mew comes in. Tuck leaves it for him. Mew clears from half back out towards the wing. They're all pretty tired. Chance here for Green. Michael Kennedy. Oh, his handball. Bit slick for Aitken. Aitken fumbles. Out of bounds, he pushes it right in front of our commentary position. Grandstand wing. 23.5 minutes gone, third term. The Blues 10-11-71 lead the Hawks. 7-13-55 as Madden comes off and Mackenzie goes on. Dorotich rucking. Palms the ball. Aitken knocks it back. Chance for Abbott of Hawthorn. He fires it in towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Alvin and Buckenara eludes them. Up towards Dean. His handball of beauty towards Robertson. Out to Alvin. Superb football, Blues. Alvin gives it on to Johnston. Johnston goes in towards the centre. Has a bounce with confidence. Fires Carlton deep into attack. Kernahan the target. Ball spills free. Should have got a free perhaps. Ayres gets a push in the back and he will get the free after Kernahan was rather harshly dealt with up there, but that's the way they've been paying them. No Tiggy Touchwood's near goal. 24 minutes and 15 third term. Ayres should have been the recipient of that free kick, but it's going to Tuck.
He's almost a fullback with a free kick, Tuck. Kicks outside the 50-metre line. He's defending. Dorotich goes for the punch. In front of the pack is Abbott, looking for a hand pass. Not one there, so he kicks scrubbily around towards the crest. Coming through is Aitken. There is Pritchard. Scoops the ball along the ground, but goes to Alban. Good harassment there by Di Domenico. Alban gets the ball out towards Bradley. Gives the handball away. It comes out towards Glascott, who looks for the safety of the boundary line and does it beautifully. And it's out of bounds.
Is hurt. Dorotic is hurt, and no, he's not coming off. He looked like he might have been, and Madden back on, but Dorotic still contesting at the boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in. Dorotic there, wrestling with Paul Deere. They all missed it. It goes to Johnson, almost a one-handed flick. It goes to Alban. Alban gives the hand pass away to Aitken, who's... well, he started a bit shakily in the second semi, but he got better as the game went on and became one of Carlton's better players. And he's been there from go to woe today. Into time on in the third term by a matter of seconds. Carlton 71, Hawthorn 55. Boundary throw in on the wing on the northern side. Madden in ruck with Paul Deere. Madden wins, but the ball went behind. It goes to Green. Green scrubby kick towards half forward. Out comes Glascott. Got the handball away. How did he do it? I don't know. To Robertson. Robertson standing side looking for Nailey, and it falls right in his lap. Well, he must have lost it in the sun. It was more hope than anything else, and it just he found it in his breadbasket. The kick by Nailey to centre half forward. Up goes Abbott. He's marked and may get 15 at centre half back for Hawthorn.
Paul Deere doing the ruck work. Greg Deere still on the bench as Abbott has it at centre half back for Hawthorn. He goes towards the southern stand side, and Paul Deere takes the mark, plays on, off the left boot. Too far for Di Domenico. Rhys Jones out in front of Brereton, and it's out of bounds at left half forward for Hawthorn. 26 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third term. The Blues, who led by 11 points at half-time, lead by 16. 10-11, 71 to Hawthorn. 7 goals, 13-55. Paul Deere still rucking there for Hawthorn against Justin Madden, giving away many centimetres. Madden comes over the top to knock the ball back out of bounds from whence it came. Almost three-quarter time in the 87 grand final. Carlton have added 4 goals to Hawthorn's 3 in this third term to stretch the half-time lead of 11 points to 16 at this stage. There's the throw-in. Madden against Paul Deere. Madden, the backflip comes close to the boundary line. Di Domenico, quick kick forward. Silvani in front. Superb mark in front of Curran as he went to ground. The Mantis, the long arms and legs of Stephen Silvani. Left out of the Carlton side last year, but not this season. And for the grand final is playing a blinder. Alban marks the short pass by Silvani. Tried to con the umpire as he dropped the ball, suggesting that Green may have knocked it out of his hands for the 15 metres. Possession football. Alban out to Rhys Jones. Sideways. Rhys Jones marks 45 metres from the goal he's defending. At the main scoreboard end, the Blues slowing it down in the dying seconds of this third quarter, holding on to the lead. The ball up towards the wing, picked up by Ayres. He gets the hand pass away. Tuck, what courage the skipper has shown for the Hawks today as he kicks to half forward. In front, Glascott couldn't quite control it. Kick off the ground by Brereton. A bouncing ball for Michael Kennedy as Green comes in. He slips over. Michael Kennedy does well. Back in towards the centre. The bouncing ball is a pretty fickle one. Chance for Bradley. Breaking away from Pritchard, he goes to ground. Play on, he's still got the footy, Humpy. And it's going to be bounced. The players stopped Bradley looking for a free. Umpire Robinson was waving play on, and he's going to bounce the ball outside the 50-metre line between the square line and the 50-metre line. The Blues in attack. 28 minutes, third term. Carlton 71 lead, Hawthorn 55.
Almost three-quarter time. Tapped down by Madden. It goes to Nailey. Runs the wrong way. He's got to backtrack. Oh, will it fall? They're coming out as Kernahan. Flick the ball away. It goes to Abbott. Abbott gets the handball to Langford. Langford, though, outside 50. Just squeezes his kick through. Around the outer side. Up goes Brereton. The ball punched away by Rhys Jones. Brereton there first. Comes to it. Not much support. In fact, he hand passes straight to Robertson of Carlton. So Dermy's having a fairly ordinary day in Buckenara, who should have a point to prove after playing in the Twos grand final last year. Certainly Silvani is proving his point. Carlton going forward. Kernahan can't mark. A chance for Ayres. Ayres now will clear the ball away from the 50-metre line. It's all Carlton. No, it's not. Paul Deere, a half-volley job. Carlton players everywhere, and to be smart, they'll work it over towards the boundary line. Alvin is there. Will they break clear? No, they won't. The ball eventually is over and out. On the southern side wing. Almost three-quarter time, 29 minutes up on the clock. Carlton by 16 points in the grand final. Boundary throw in. Justin Madden with Paul Deere. Height and a bit of strength there, but Madden wins again. Gets the tap away. Brereton, though, accepts it. Gives the handball to Green. Green now from the point of the square at centre half back. Up towards Kennedy. Kennedy now. Aitken after him. Kennedy's got the front position. He's running out of territory. And Aitken makes sure he does by punching the ball defensively away. And it's three-quarter time. Carlton by 16 points at three-quarter time in the grand final. The scores: Carlton 10-11-71, Hawthorn 7-13-55.
Against Madden, the centre bounce final term. Running onto it was Carlton. Jenke grabs it for Hawthorn, tries to get a short distance kick. And umpire Robinson says, give it to me. Brereton has gone to fullback for Hawthorn on Mackenzie. And now Mew's going back to fullback on Mackenzie, and Brereton's come out onto Kenny Hunter to get a little bit more into the play across the half-back line. 30 seconds final term of the 87 grand final. The Blues by 16 points. Paul Deer, it is rucking against Madden with a big spring. Tap down, it's kick forward by Nailey. Knocked away by Langford, but it goes to Michael Kennedy. He kicks towards full forward. The bouncing ball is going to run across the line and out of bounds, 15 metres from the behind post. Left forward pocket for the Blues. First into attack in the final term on a scorching hot September's day in Melbourne. The temperature getting up near the 30-degree mark. 30 metres from the behind post. Left forward pocket for the Blues, who lead by 16 points. Mew is down there with Mackenzie. The ball knocked free. All hard running by Carlton at the ball. It's kicked away, though, for Hawthorn by Mew. Out towards the wing. Pritchard there in front of Bradley. Tries to kick it off the ground. And the ball has gone out of bounds, outside 50.
Graham, we've just had a call from Antarctica where the temperature is what, Jerry? Minus 31, and it's plus 31 in Melbourne.
1.5 final term. Thanks, boys. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast down there. Paul Deer, they nullify one another. Taken by Glasgow of Carlton. In towards full forward. Mew there. Takes the mark, juggling it in the last line of defence. 1.5 in the final term. Carlton 10-11-71. Hawthorn 7-13-55. The kick by Mew down the ground. Swabu takes the mark. Quick handball to Dippy Domenico from the defensive square. Up towards half forward. Carlton 3-1. They spoil one another. Ball spills out to Alvin. Mercurial kicks wide for Glasgow. Played a fantastic game on Platten. Mark, and that will be 15 metres as Platten pushed him over after he had taken the mark. Glasgow goes to retrieve the ball out of the gutter after, like another Dean Jones for, and he's here with the Australian cricket team on the way to India this afternoon from Melbourne Airport.
Kick by Glasgow from the wing on the southern side, up towards the practice pitch area, and Aitken is marked in that position for Carlton, about a kick and a half out from goal. A commentator's urging him on, saying, kick it. Oh, he goes for a prop. He would like to be underneath that. Well, when a good bit of shepherding allows Mackenzie to take the mark. Who was that player who shepherded? It was Nailey, because the foot pass from Aitken was about 5 or 6 stories high, and Mackenzie had to just prop a little bit for it, and the trips would have come, but good shepherding by Nailey. Now Mackenzie to make it 23 points. He's 40 metres out on an angle, kicking to the city end. I think it might be offline. Not much jubilation from Mackenzie. It's offline and through for a behind in the grand final. 3 minutes in the final term scoreboard. Carlton 10-12-72. Hawthorn 7-13-55 by 17 points.
That's what Hawthorn remain in a breathing situation because their task would have been great had that goal from Mackenzie been obtained.
There's the kick by Langford, a la last Saturday, straight down the ground. Bradley up high, taken by Michael Kennedy of Carlton. He'll put the Blues back into attack. He does. Mew getting underneath it all. That goes over his head. Chance for Kernahan, but Langford comes in. Doesn't push the ball positive enough for the boundary line. Kernahan's caught with the ball. Ball, they cry. Coming away with it is Ayres for Hawthorn. Gets the kick out towards the wing. Chance for a Hawthorn player. Oh, he slips down Jenke. Came off the boot of a Carlton player, Bradley. And the free kick will go to Hawthorn's Paul Deer. Little fortunate the Hawks there. Paul Deer now invited to play on. He kicks off the left boot. Oh, it puts his teammate under pressure. That player is Pritchard. Chance there for Dippy Domenico. He knocks the ball on, but Pritchard gets a cruel bounce. Johnston sweating on it. Gets a free kick for being grabbed. Dipper was bursting away, but Johnston was tackled without the ball, and he gets the free kick in the centre of the ground. And Hawthorn fortunate there wasn't 15 metres there because the ball thrown a little wide.
Entirely, wasn't it?
Johnston goes for the short pass. They're everywhere. Shane Robertson was one of 2 options. The other was Kennedy. The foot pass, Shane Robertson, good to Bradley. Good spoil. Ball spills for Mew. Mew kicks it wide. Out towards the southern stand wing. Shane Robertson leading in the race for the ball. Can he keep it in? He does. He goes for a foot pass to Michael Kennedy, who takes the mark. Practice pitch area. In towards full forward. Leapers wanted. Kernahan from the back. Tapped away. Oh, fasting onto it. Chance for Carlton Gleeson. He fires at goal. He's put it through. And that's a handy one. First goal, final term of the 87 grand final, 4.5 minutes in, kicked by Gleeson. And the Blues go to a 23-point lead, 11-12-78 to Hawthorn, 7 goals, 13-55.
Well, it all started, I think. Did you have a look at Russo hobbling after that opponent of his on the boundary?
Yep.
He was hoping the ball would go out of bounds. He could hardly walk. And of course, it didn't, and that allowed eventually the opportunity for Carlton to score that goal. And Russo, hopeless.
Carlton lead by 23 points, 5 minutes into the grand final last quarter. The centre bounce. It favours Madden, although Deere came in strongly. That was Paul. The ball goes to Dean. Handball across to Reece Jones. Sidesteps elegantly away from Tuck and a couple of other players in transit. Kicked by Reece Jones to half forward. Punched away by Jenke. Naily at the fall of the ball. Breaks clear. Inside 50 to seal it for Carlton. 25 metres out. Naily has kicked it. Carlton scored the first 2 goals of the final term. And they really break clear now by 29 points. Carlton 12-12-84. Hawthorn 7-13-55. The goal kicked by Mark Naily, his first.
They look pretty fresh, the Blues, and that's what a weak spell's all about.
Greg Deere warming up to come back on. Should he have started the final term on the bench? Well, there you go. They've souvenired the footy. The Blues 12-12-84. This is their biggest margin in the contest. 29 points over the Hawks, who are 7-13-55 at the 6-minute mark of the last quarter.
I hear a little bit of murmur around the commentary box. It's all over now. I think I might agree with that. Miraculous if Hawthorn can get out of this one.
Paul Deere about to contest the centre bounce against Justin Madden, considerably taller, the big fellow, who gets the tap. Chance for Carlton bursting through. McKernahan gets the rebounding ball. Long kick to full forward. It might be another one. It is. Just crosses the line and Kernahan kicks it from outside 50. That's his third. And at 35 points, the Blues have kicked 3 in 3 minutes as Paul Deere is going to come off and Greg Deere back on. But she's all over now. The Blues go to 13-12-90 with a full head of steam up to the Hawks, 7-13-55.
Talking about a full head of steam, I think that locomotive coming out of the centre wearing number 7 on his back for Carlton might have had a little bit of a hand in that. He's not a bad player, and he's definitely shown that throughout this encounter.
Final term. 7 minutes gone. Carlton lead by 35 points after having led by 16 points just, let's see, a few minutes ago. Oh, Naily gets it on to Johnston. He gives it across to Robertson, but the mark is taken by Mew in the back pocket for Hawthorn. Chris Mew with Brereton looking for the handball over the top. Swab will be a bit short. Yes, he does go short to Swab. He runs up towards the 50-metre line. He's defending Peter Swab. In towards the centre. Or Reece Jones about 4th in line claimed it, or somebody else might have claimed it, but Reece Jones certainly didn't have either first or second purchase on it. And there'll be a ball up in the centre once again. Carlton 13-12-90. Hawthorn 7-13-55. A big day here in Melbourne. The grand final. And Carlton just beginning, or they have in the last couple of minutes, to shake off Hawthorn. But Hawthorn, a team full of character. It goes to Michael Kennedy. Handball across to Naily. No, it's not Naily. He goes long in towards the forward pocket, and Mew dropped one he should have taken, and he's claiming that the ball came off a Carlton player. His foot, it could have been Mackenzie, it was, and Mew will take the free kick. So Chris Mew in the back pocket. Scoots the ball around the outer side, looking for Deere. That's Greg Deere. Tries to fist it, but misses. Picked up by Bradley. Bradley's kicked a half forward, a wobbly one. Kicked away by Ayres, who will be marked by Justin Madden on the attacking side of the centre. Handball away to Bradley. Bradley's hand pass comes out to Johnson on the practice pitch area. Goes square towards half forward. The ball fisted away. It's going towards the boundary line. Just 15 metres away from goal. That's Carlton's goal. The knock on by Carlton, but saving the ball there is Brereton getting a couple of Bronx cheers. Handball across to John Kennedy of Hawthorn. He runs up towards the 50-metre line. He's defending in front of the members. Not too adoring today, with Melbourne being eliminated last week. The kick by Kennedy across the half-back line finds Green. Handball onto Russo.
Oh. Can't raise it. Go
Russo now, no. Jack Cameron picked him pretty early, Smoke. The ball comes up towards Curran, but it's the kick drops short, hits him on the nose. It goes to Swab. Dippy Domenico, grab, gets the handball away. Cool and calm and placid. Reece Jones gives it away to Bradley, who goes for a run.
Bradley out to the southern stand side. He goes wide to the dominated Johnston, who takes the mark just in from the boundary line. Fraser Murphy warming up to come on. The hand pass comes back from Johnston on to Glasgow. He puts it under his arm, runs his full measure, fires it in towards full forward. Mackenzie has been paid the tumbling mark, low to the ground, and he's taken it about 35 metres out from goal as Meldrum is about to come off for Carlton to be replaced by Murphy. 10 minutes gone, final term, and the Blues lead by 35 points. They've got the 7 flag parcelled up. Meldrum off, Murphy on. And here's Mackenzie for the Blues. Comes in fairly close to the man on the mark, Abbott. The kick across the goal, it's fading. Madden is up there, fisted away. Oh, out in front of the pack, a chance for the Blues. Fast onto it, it's Dennis. A hurried kick back in towards full forward. Kicked off the ground by Greg D. A chance for Mackenzie, but Abbott is out. Pointed to no. Mackenzie's mark again.
Yep. Yes.
Mackenzie 30 metres from goal, directly in front. That ball kicked off the ground away by the Hawthorn defence. Another Hawthorn player down receiving treatment. Hawthorn physio Barry Gavin certainly working overtime. Player near the scene of the ball. And Mackenzie with a far easier shot this time, directly in front, much closer than the previous kick he had a moment ago. 10 minutes and 45. Final term of the 87 grand final. Mackenzie for Carlton.
Yep.
Puts it through the centre, and the Blues go 41 points in front. 14-12-96 to 7-13-55. That's Mackenzie's first goal. He started on the bench and has been on and off several times during the afternoon.
This was a disappointing finish to this match, but I think one could sense it coming just before three-quarter time. There's many of those Hawthorn players who gave their all, just haven't been sighted since, and they were a few, the minority, who were doing so much for Hawthorn. A lot of Hawthorn players just haven't been able to get into the act at all. Many of them looking tired and quite sore.
Carlton by 41 points. Madden gets yet another tap. It goes to Nailey, who's had a big game since half-time. Kick up towards Kernahan. Can't mark. The ball spills to Mew, but he almost kicks the wrong way. Right across the half-back line, and Carlton hoping the ball stay in. It does. Well, luck's of fortune. Fraser Murphy fastens onto the ball. Great tackle down there by, I think it might have been Collins, who in fact does emerge with the ball, and there's going to be a free kick to Carlton. It's not to Fraser Murphy. It's going to another Carlton player. Looks like Mackenzie.
Tackled high by Abbott.
Outside 50. He'll kick from about 50 metres out. Mackenzie, Warren Mackenzie's kick one. The drop punt on its way, and it's straightening up a bit, but I think it's just offline as is it Green coming off the ground for Hawthorn. Behind, Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-13. It's an even 7 goals to the Blues now, 42 points, and John Elliott, the Carlton president, I think he gets married next Thursday. Well, the honeymoon will be even sweeter now.
Ball back in the centre. Tuck barging his way through for the Hawks. Bradley's down. Kennedy gets it out to Platten. Platten in the middle. Gets well tackled, but gets it back to Tuck. Tuck off the left boot. Kicks to half forward. Brereton back in attack for the Hawks. Rhys Jones the good spoil. Down to Curran. Handball on to Buckenara. Buckenara from 45 metres. He's kicked it right off the side of his boot. It bounces out of bounds near the behind post. And he had a better option in Brereton. I felt that that typified Buckenara's game today. He's been a very quiet player for the Hawks, been completely shut out of business by Tommy Alvin. Just 4 kicks and 2 handballs for Gary Buckenara. 13 minutes final term. It's all Carlton. They lead by 42 points, 14-13 to 7-13. 6-7 goal lead, and Madden will get the free kick for a ruck infringement of that boundary throw-in. Goes out towards the half-back line. Gleeson, the target, out there and takes the mark. Was about to run on. Pritchard dragged back a metre or two. Half-back, southern stand side. Gleeson up towards the wing. Big Greg Deere is there to fish the ball away. He does. Knocked on cleverly for Carlton. I think it was by Michael Kennedy for Bradley, but too far. And it's out of bounds. Southern stand wing. 13.5 final term. Carlton 14-13-97. Hawthorn 7-13-55.
Boundary throw-in coming up on the southern side wing. Still about 28 degrees in Melbourne. Knocked down by Madden. Must go close to getting the Norm Smith medal. Picked up by Pritchard. His kick from the wing, looking for Buckenara, but he's been missing today. The ball spills down towards Platten. Platten now kicks inside 50. Curran comes out. Rhys Jones punches the ball away with strong, fair play. The ball spills out towards Silvani. Platten overrun it. And the ball has been knocked over the boundary line. It's inside 50 with Hawthorn into attack, but it's about 45 metres out from goal. Right half forward flank at the punt road end. A boundary throw in. Up goes Madden, although I think they're virtually standing there. The ball comes to Tuck. Now Tuck can kick a goal. 30 metres out. Can he thread it through? No, he's just a little still in play. Brereton might kick a goal. His body was out, but I think that the ball was out as well because the boundary umpire was right there and adjudicated very quickly. Carlton by 7 goals in the grand final. 14-13. Hawthorn 7-13. And the boundary throw in with Hawthorn deep into attack at the punt road end, just a few metres out from goal. Madden up or via a few hands of Carlton players, and Aitken I think helped it in the end over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Russo limping off for Hawthorn as Green is about to go back on, and he's limping as well.
Boundary throw-in just metres away from Hawthorn's goal. It's Bills behind. Buckenara has a snapshot, and it's through from behind. So it's 6 goals, 5. The lead, 41 points to Carlton. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-14.
Well, that's Hawthorn's first score in 15 minutes of this last term. Some idea of just how they are being brutally mauled.
Rhys Jones, a perfect foot pass, marked by Bradley at half-back on the 50-metre line. He's put the ball under his arm and he's gone back. He's smoking the pipe. He's got the slippers out. And another glass of port. He says, I'll take plenty of time. And why shouldn't he? Because the Blues lead by 41 points. Craig Bradley to the wing. Members side, fisted forward by Langford. Taken by Fraser Murphy. Close to the boundary line, in towards, the wing. It's marked by Collins. He runs on. The long hand pass across to Schwab. Schwab draws Aitken, gets it across to Kennedy. Kennedy on to Paul Deere. Schwab is still running, but Paul Deere will kick off the left boot. Oh, Brereton's behind. The foot pass was perfect, but it was to the wrong man. Rhys Jones makes a mistake and Brereton kick it off the ground. No, Rhys too quick. Comes back and rushes it through from behind. Great work, Rhys Jones. And I'll tell you what, Smooth, he might get a few sympathy votes for the Norm Smith medal and a few that he deserves as well. If you don't mind, Mr. Umpire.
A delightful game from Rhys Jones. That's about the only way to describe it, remembering who the opponent for the afternoon has been. Brereton. Short kick.
Short kick goes to Nailey. Now, Nailey on the half-back there. Glascott, thanks, Biggs, you're right. Out towards the 50-metre line. And out there is Gleeson, who's marked for Carlton. Gleeson goes a bit short. And they're playing short now to Glascott. Back to Gleeson, so the old firm in action there. They've controlled the ball for the last 45 seconds or so. Hunter underneath it, punched away by Mew. And the ball is over and out. Just down from wing with Carlton just marginally into attack. It's on the southern side wing with Carlton kicking to the main scoreboard for Melbourne City end. The boundary throw in. Up goes Madden, who his fists will be red raw tonight from all the thumps he's had and all the palms he's made. Picked up by Greg Deere. Comes off the boot off the knee of Glascott, and he tumbles over the ball, but the ball keeps going, and it's over and out once again. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-15. Carlton by 40 points in the grand final. Boundary throw in. The ruckman miss it. Bradley taps it sideways to Glascott. Platten after him. Glascott loses his footing. Tuck politely picks it up. He's on the wing, scoots the ball in towards the 50-metre line. Brereton and Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones taking no chances at all. Punches the ball away. Brereton there outnumbered 2-1. Alvin hovering over the pack and being a spectator as he has been all day. I hope Gary Buckenara bought a ticket for the grand final, because he really has been a spectator and not a great contributor for the Hawthorn team. 17 3/4 minutes in the big one. Carlton 14-13, Hawthorn 7-15.
Boundary thrown at right half forward for the Blues. Madden gets the tap down, rebounds to Paul Deere. Right foot kick by Paul Deere in towards full forward. Curran is there, jostling forward. Good work by Shane Robertson, who comes in and thumps it through for a behind a Hawthorn. 7-14, 7-16, 58 to 14-13, 97. 39 points the lead, 18 minutes gone in the final term.
The kick-in finds Gleeson on the half-back line. Gleeson up towards the wing on the member side. And a terrific mark taken by Dennis. He gets legged too a little bit as he tried to get up by Ayres. Running past is Gleeson, and he gives the handball away. It must have travelled a good 12 or 15 metres. A foot pass by Gleeson. It looked good off the boot, but when I looked down to see where it was going, it was between Kernahan, Johnston, and also Hunter. So directionally it wasn't good, and it's out of bounds inside 50. Right half forward flank, 45 metres out from Carlton's goal. They lead by 39 points in the grand final. Storming his way through as Johnson gets the hard kick. It travels on the bounce to Langford. Langford clears the ball away to the centre. Let's see who's there. It's Kennedy. Kennedy of Carlton. The ball punched away by Paul Deere. Out to Kennedy of Hawthorn. Back towards Paul Deere. He can't pick it up. Being worried out of it by Aitken. The ball knocked across towards Platten. Here's a chance now for John Kennedy. One bounce. Oh, he nearly lost it. He has. Retrieves it. Handball to Buckenara. Buckenara sidesteps. Handball back to Kennedy. Free fourth. Kicks into Silvani. Great defensive work by Carlton and the old firm of Rhys Jones and Silvani, solicitors or accountants, you name it. They've really put paid to Hawthorn today. They've done a terrific job. 19 and a half minutes in the quarter. Carlton 97, Hawthorn 58.
Fantastic play by Stephen Silvani. Madden goes up, taps the ball back out of bounds on the 50-metre line. The Blues doing it well. The official attendance today are pretty disappointing. 92,754. 92 7:54. And Madden thumps it back in. The members obviously not as packed as it would have been had Melbourne been playing, and nor is the standing room. And I think the hot day has kept a lot of people away with the live television in Melbourne. The Blues lead. Score off the board up there, 97-58. Gleeson overruns it. Picked up by Swab, who's played his heart out for the Hawks. Gets it on to Di Domenico. He gets it back to Paul Deere, who goes with a short foot pass. It travelled about 8.5 metres, and it's marked by Schwab just inside 50. Hawthorn were goalless in the second term when they kicked to the punt road end, and at the moment they're goalless in this final term as the mark is taken by Pritchard, a little closer to goal. 92-754 the official attendance, and the Blues leading by 39 points. Pritchard with a shot on goal for Hawthorn. Darren Pritchard coming into the Hawthorn 20 instead of Jason Dunstall. Pritchard kicks from just inside the 50-metre line, and it looks okay. A goal kicked by Hawthorn. The Hawks first at the punt road into the match. They move on to 16-64. 33 points behind. Carlton 14-13-97. The Blues at the 21-minute mark of the final term lead by 33 points.
Pritchard really didn't make a lot of effort to hurry himself up there, because I think he, along with a few other Hawthorn players, realising the task too great, are just waiting for that siren to go. We've played 21 minutes, so they could come home a little better perhaps, but the task a great one. Tired boys out there wearing brown and gold jumpers.
Carlton by 33 points. Centre bounce again. Madden gets yet another tap. Gives Gleeson an armchair ride. The ball kicked away by Dean up towards 50. A chance there for Mackenzie. Running away from Abbott. He's trying to control the ball. He may just work it over. He does. On the 50-metre line. Half-forward flank. Left half-forward flank to the main scoreboard or city end. Carlton 14-13. Hawthorn 8-16 in the grand final. All the speculation is just about over. Carlton premiers in 80. Now, somebody tapped it across. Was it Gleeson onto Murphy? There was one movement there I didn't call. Anyway, the ball ended up with Fraser Murphy. On the run from 20 metres out, has put it through. And that's his first goal in the match. Scoreboard, Carlton 15-13, 103 by 39 points, reminds Gareth Andrews, seated right behind me. Hawthorn 8-16, 64.
Happy for Fraser. Loves kicking a goal, and he certainly loved doing that one.
Ball back in the centre with Ian Robinson. Greg Deere against Justin Madden, who's played a fantastic game, the big fellow for the Blues. He gets his left hand to it. It goes down to Bradley. Bradley spins it to Glascott. Glascott kicks it wide for the boundary line. Two tired players in Ayres and Dennis go after it. It's out of bounds between wing and half forward in front of the southern stand. The Blues have gone into the 100-point margin, 15-13, 103. The Hawks 8-16, 64. The Blues by 39 points. Chance for Carlton. Johnston gets pushed over, but his hand pass goes to Green. Green for Hawthorn clears up towards Brereton and Rhys Jones. Rhys Jones dragged Brereton down, and this time the Hawthorn player gets a free kick for being pushed in the back. Was that his first free for the day, Jack Cameron? It is, between wing and half forward. A day he'd want to forget, and a day Rhys Jones will remember. Foot past Brereton, marked by Green, who was about to play on. Nailey came in. I thought he had stepped over the mark. The umpire said he hadn't. That was Ian Robinson, the kick by Green from half forward. Curran dropping back. Oh, he slips at the crucial moment. Back there is Tuck to try and take it off the pack. He can't do so. Umpire Saws will bounce. 24 minutes gone, final term of the 87 grand final. The Blues have it won. They lead 15-13, 103 to Hawthorn 8-16, 64 by a margin of 39 points.
24 minutes and 17 seconds up on the clock. There's the ball up with Hawthorn into attack at the punt road end. Madden looks for the safety of the boundary line with a thump and does find it. Graham, it's been a long year. I think between us we've called, what, about 130 games of football?
Something like that, Smooth, yep.
I think you might have edged me out because of the stool gift, but it's been a long year, and this is the end of it now. The final 5 minutes is Johnston now for Carlton. Clears the ball away, around to the outer southern side. The ball comes down towards Nailey. Nailey's hand pass, a beauty out to Bradley, still running strongly. Has a couple of bounces. That Hawthorn player did make up some ground, Langford, and he worried him out of it because he lost possession, Bradley, and the ball's gone out of bounds. But certainly Langford, what would have made up a good metre on him, and Bradley is no slouch when it comes to foot running. It's official, into time on by 7 seconds in the grand final. Carlton 103, Hawthorn 64. Greg Deere gets the thump away. Tired players, tired commentators, and a lot of tired people out there barracking. Dean knocks it away, picked up by Ayres. Ayres is clearing kick, but Paul Deere was a bit lackadaisical then. Picked up by Schwab, who's been a good player for Hawthorn in the finals. Copped a hard one today. Rhys Jones works the ball over yet again. The firm of Jones and Silvani. Rhys Jones and Silvani working together. Carlton 103, Hawthorn 64, time on 37 seconds in the grand final of 87. Boundary throw in on the southern side. There goes Madden. It's a bit of a short one, that one, Smoke, almost a world record. Picked up by Johnston, the dominator. Johnston's kick has been marked. It didn't travel very far by Abbott at centre half back.
Abbott in towards John Kennedy in the centre, and Kennedy takes the mark for Hawthorn just on the defensive side of the circle. Gets the handball away to Ayres. He sells the dummy. He was going to hand pass it to Collins. Goes up towards Curran. Silvani spoils, and the long arms gather it, and he just does a dribble kick along the ground again and puts it out of bounds. Superb defence of the Blues today has absolutely shut off any Hawthorn attacking moves. They've been Silvani, Rhys Jones and Alvin have starred back there. Boundary throw in at right half forward. Madden grabs it from the throw-in. He's dominated in the ruck. Gets the long clearing kick back towards the wing. Fisted away by Langford. No doubt Hawthorn's best player. Collins gets the hand pass back to Greg Deere. His handball was meant for Pritchard, who goes to ground. Picked up by Johnson. Another fine game from the Carlton champion. Kick rebounds to Ayres. Ayres breaks out of a tackle. Puts Hawthorn into attack up the half forward. Rhys Jones dropping back. Curran couldn't hold it. Alvin can come away with it. No, not this time. Platten can't break clear, and the umpire will bounce it at centre half forward for Hawthorn. 27-minute mark of the final term. We've had 5 goals to Carlton and 1 to Hawthorn, so not much more play. I don't think they'll blow the siren early as they did in the under-19s, which was a bit of a sensation to start the day. The Blues by 39 points at the 27-minute mark. Madden gets the tap. Tuck couldn't break clear. Chance for Rhys Jones. He can. Hand pass to Aitken. Aitken from the point of the square in defence kicks to half forward, and Gleeson, who marks, running away from Jenke. Left foot kick in towards Hunter. Out comes Mew. The tap away by Mew, okay, but Hunter recovers best. Handball to Nail. He ducks out of one. Back to Gleeson. Gleeson could be his second goal for the quarter. No. And the man in the goal square all on his own for Carlton. Back there was Mackenzie. The pass didn't come. Gleeson wanted to kick the goal, and it's a behind. The lead 40 points. Carlton 104, Hawthorn 64. The short kick marked by Greg Deere at centre half back. He's off and running. Has a bounce. Oh, but shaky. Goes back with a handball. Too far for Jenke, but it's okay for Collins. Collins has a bounce. Goes for the long hand pass over the top to John Kennedy. Kennedy draws the player. Back to Collins running down the ground. Collins runs inside 50, steadies. He has got some pace and he fires, and he might have kicked the goal. Perhaps the last of the match he has. Andrew Collins with pace kicks a goal for Hawthorn, who move on to 9-16-70. 34 points behind Carlton, the Blues. 15-14, 104, 28 minutes and 20 seconds gone in the final term of this 87 grand final.
That was a grand effort by young Collins. He went right from the half-back flank, the full length of the ground, the long goal. Well, that was a great reward for some excellent play by that young fellow who has been one of Hawthorn's better players throughout.
Carlton by 34 points, and still Robert Walls has not come down from the coach's bench. Normally you see when the margin is wide enough and the time just ticking away, the coach will come down and embrace his players and trainers and the staff down there, but Robert Walls hasn't done it yet. From the centre bounce, the ball spills towards Green. Green's kick has been marked by Glascott. Handball's on to Dean, which was a bit flashy, I think. A chance for Schwab, gives it across to Platten. God, good kick by Platten. I think he found Brereton. They give him the Bronx cheer. The kick by Di Domenico. Curran goes up. One grab, he's hurt himself, hurt his knee, but it's through for a behind kick by Robert Di Domenico. His tally 1 goal, 1. Scoreboard at the MCG. Carlton by 33 points, 29 and a quarter minutes. Carlton 15-14, Hawthorn 9-17.
Out to the wing on the grandstand side. Green leading in the race for the ball, or is he? He knocks it back for Brereton. And there's the siren. It's all over. Carlton premiers in 1987, defeating Hawthorn to win the 87 flag by 33 points. And now the Carlton boys come down. Robbie Walls, Stephen Goff, the team manager, Wesley Lofts, Colin Kinnear, and Serge Silvani will be there. The Blues winning the grand final by 33 points, and the champion team of Australian football in 1987, 15-14, 104 to 9 goals, 17-71, a 33-point win to the Blues. Congratulations, David Mackay. A fantastic day. Well done, Carlton. 15th premiership in the VFL for the Blues. That is the most by any club. The Bombers 14, the Magpies 13, and the Demons 12.
Graham, both teams have had a marvellous run in the 80s. It's Carlton's third premiership. They won the flag in 81, 82 and 87. Runners-up in 86. The Hawks have won 2 flags in the 80s, in 83 and 86, and runners-up now 3 times in the 80s, 84, 85 and 87. So Carlton, 3 premierships since 81, 82 and now 87. And they've won today's flag by a margin of 33 points. Graham will give you the goal kickers in just a moment. Carlton 15-14, 104. Hawthorn 9-17-71. And Carlton, congratulations.
The goal kickers for the winners, the Blues, Kernahan and Bradley 3, Johnston 2, and singles to Dorotich, Hunter, Gleeson, Nailey, Meldrum, Murphy and Mackenzie. For Hawthorn, 3 goals to Kennedy, and singles to Di Domenico, Greg Deere, Curran, Collins, Pritchard and Platten. The final score in the 87 grand final, Carlton 15-14, 104 to 9-17-71. The Blues by 33 points.
Let's go down to Mark Cutler's, Mike, because he has the Carlton chairman of selectors, Wes Lofts.
Yep, well, I've just been crossed down to, I've got Wayne Johnson hugging Wes at the moment, and very tearful scene it is. Wes, a fantastic effort, really, after last year's disappointment. This must be sweet revenge.
It is. It's I still feel just a bit overblown at the moment, but it was a magnificent performance, and we went as we planned. I thought we wore them down minute by minute for the total game. Right to the end, we didn't lose concentration. It was a great performance. Not one of the most spectacular grand finals, of course, but just the way you would like to win them.
It certainly seemed like one of the hardest grand finals physically. Not a nasty game at all, but just a tough physical clash, and you came out winners, and that answered a lot of questions.
I thought so, yes, and that's a great way for us to win it.
Finally, Wes, you know, one on the planning board or one on the day? How do you see
one
it?
on the totally for the players. It was. I don't think it would have mattered where they lined up. Their commitment was just fantastic. Beautiful, Beezer. Beautiful, son. And I think you can't just take it away from the players. It was magnificent.
Okay.
Johnson, wonderful.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Wes Lofts. Back to you, fellas.
Well done, Mark Cutler, with the Carlton chairman of selectors. And now let's go to the Chief Commissioner of the VFL, Ross Oakley.
We'll have the Norm Smith medal presented to him by the former Melbourne champion, John Beckworth. The winner of the Norm Smith medal is David Rhys-Jones. We got the medal, we got the medal.
Now it's got the medal. Former Melbourne Premiership captain John Beckworth puts the Norm Smith medal for the best player on the ground around the neck of Carlton champion David Rhys-Jones.
The winner of the 1987 Speedo VFL Premiership is the Carlton Football Club.
Presentations about to be made as Hawthorn leave the MCG.
By the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Bob Hawke.
Right, we're going to ask the following players to come forward to receive their medallions, their premiership medallions. If we could have number 1, Stephen Silvani.
Mr. Hawke
Stephen Silvani.
Dark blue tie, which may be symptomatic of the team he followed today.
I think he went for the Hawks, actually, Peter.
Number 3, Richard Dennis.
Good first half by Dennis.
One of many interstate players.
John Dorotich.
On the Carlton side, there's another.
We haven't lost him. He's coming now. Making his way through. Here he is, John Dorotich.
Okay, here's Mark Cutler with David Glascott.
Number 7,
David,
Wayne Johnston.
A fantastic effort. You played in a number of premierships, and the Carlton team's come back after back-to-back. 5 years down the track, how does it feel?
Oh, you forget how great it is, and you know, I guess in 81, 82 I walked straight into it. So this one, you know, it's been 4 years coming, so I think this one might mean a bit more to me.
And just before you go on, Mark, Johnston getting his medallion. He had 21 kicks, a marvellous game by Wayne Johnston.
Really, it was a great team performance, David, and your game in particular was a fantastic one. You must have been pretty pleased.
Yeah, I was pleased. I had the job on Johnny Platten, and he can run, and all I had to do is just steel myself to run with him and try and cut him out at the bounces and the throw-ins and that.
How are you going to celebrate tonight?
Well, tonight I'm going to take it easy because I think in 81, 82 I overindulged, and I don't think I enjoyed it and savoured it enough. Tonight I've made myself a promise that I'm going to enjoy the night, and then later on I might get into the drink a bit. But tonight I'm going to really savour every moment of it.
Well, certainly from ABC listeners right around Australia and indeed right around the world, congratulations. A fantastic win, and particularly to you too, David. It was a great game. David Glascott.
Thanks a lot. So, well done, Mark Cutler. Yep. As the Carlton players received their premiership medal, another interstater from South Australia, Craig Bradley, who had 12 kicks and 7 handballs in the grand final. First year recruit, some quarters named recruit of the year, Ian Aitken.
23, Paul Meldrum.
Molly Meldrum, Carlton's leading player in the Brownlow medal with 15 votes. Brownlow medal night might have got him back into the 20. He was out of the side for the second semi-final.
He's had a nagging groin injury, Graham, which has come good over the past week or so.
By popular demand, number 26, David Rhys-Jones.
Norm Smith medal winner. Rhys, 11 kicks, 3 marks, 10 handballs on Dermot Brereton, whose stats Jack Cameron were.
Number 30, Fraser Murphy.
5 kicks, 3 marks, 3 handballs for Brereton. Fraser Murphy, who missed the 86 grand final because of suspension, took the place of Bernie Evans, who was suspended for today's game. And Fraser Murphy in a winning side.
Tom Alvin.
Tom Alvin being presented with his medallion, and while this is going on, the head of the umpires, Bill Della, and Kevin Smith just walking across the MCG
with Johnny Sutcliffe.
Yeah, to the rooms to, I guess, talk and reflect with Ian Robinson and Rowan Soares. But no doubt a couple of reports out of today's game. Both Carlton players, Justin Madden
Peter Dean
and Wayne Johnston.
Boy from South Bendigo. What was Carlton's own Peter Dean.
Okay, Mark Cutler has the Norm Smith medal winner, David Rhys-Jones.
Yes, we have the Norm Smith medal winner here, David Rhys-Jones. And David, particular sweet success for you, I imagine.
Oh, that's right. You know, last year I didn't have a very good game. My opponent won the Norm Smith medal. I said a few things to the boys then that you know, the only way to repay would be to go out and win it this year. But you know, it's just I was just saying it, and it was just one of those things that worked out that way.
You've had an up and down career, but nothing sweeter than this, I should think.
No, that's right. It's a team game, and you know, to have 20 blokes really put in for each other, put in for the blokes who weren't out here, it's just enormous. It's you know, unbelievable.
Did you have any doubts after last year that you might not win a premiership after all?
Oh no, I think a lot of us put in a lot more over pre-season, and we realised we were good enough to get there last year, but just didn't have enough in the end. And we've recruited well. We've recruited some good players, and you know, we finished on top of the ladder. We've proved we're number 1. And
finally, David, any sympathy for Dermot Brereton? I mean, you were on the receiving end last year. Have you got any words for Dermot?
Oh, well, Dermot was obviously injured. He wasn't moving too well, you know, so that probably takes a little bit away from my game, but obviously Dermot wasn't right.
Fantastic. David Rhys-Jones, Norm Smith medal winner. Congratulations.
Well done, Mark. And Robert Walls, the Carlton coach, coming up to the rostrum and getting his medallion from the Prime Minister, Mr. Hawke. And you'll hear a big roar in a minute because the most popular player in the VFL, the Carlton skipper, Stephen Kernahan. Yes, in a poll taken by the VFL, they had nearly 40,000 entries. He came out on top as the most popular player in the VFL. Warwick Kappa finished in 3rd place, by the way. Hopefully a fey words from the coach and skipper. Premiership Cup held aloft by the coach and skipper of Carlton. Repeating the crowd today, 92,754, about 10,000 down on what was expected. And I don't think we will have a word from the coach and captain, although
we'll get
the compere down there is fairly alert, we might. But champagne being sprayed by, I guess, members of the Carlton cheer squad and water boys. And Robert Walls will make a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your attention for the coach of Carlton, Robert Walls.
Thank you for staying to see us receive our Premiership Cup. We've worked very hard. The players have been fantastic, very professional, determined, and we've got 20 brothers out on the ground today. But there's plenty of other brothers who've supported us, who are not out here, but they've helped just as much. Thank you.
Well done, Robbie.
Carlton coach Robert Walls again with Stephen Kernahan holding the Premiership Cup aloft.
And now I think it might be opportune for Steve to lead the players on that traditional lap of honour. There you go.
Okay, we have the president of the Carlton football team, John Elliott, on the ground with Mark Cutler.
Well, John, record profits announced for your company. Is this as good as that or better?
Oh, this is much better. You know, we've worked hard all year for this. Fantastic.
And, I mean, last year was such a disappointment to Carlton. How much extra work went in, not only from you personally, but from everyone to pull
I think everybody put it in. You know, we all felt the pain of defeat last year, and we strengthened the team with Nailey and a couple of big, tall fellas, and, you know, it really worked out very well.
Do you think you'll have to recruit again to maintain the position as #1 team?
Well, I'll worry about that next year. You'll enjoy this now.
Thanks very much. John Elliott, back to you.
Now, I think Peter Motley might be in the crowd just to our left, and Des English, because Stephen Kernahan has gone across to the boundary, flanked by 19 other players, and really has gestured to somebody up there in the crowd, and we can only assume it's Peter Motley and Des English.
Yeah, I think they went across maybe in one of the super boxes, Peter, to our left, underneath the middle tier of this northern stand, the Olympic stand, and the Carlton players doing a thoroughly reserved, very slow, quiet jog. 19 of them in their Carlton sweaters. Mark Nailey in number 29 in the Hawthorn colours, obviously swapped with Russell Green at the end, the Premiership Cup, full of champagne, and Stephen Silvani takes a little swig out of it as the Blues do their lap of honour as the Premiership team by 33 points over Hawthorn, 15-14-104 to 9-17-71. 3 goals to Captain Kernahan and Bradley, 2 to Johnston, the first 2 goals of the match. Singles to Dorotich, who started at full forward in a good move for the Blues. Hunter, Gleeson, Nailey, Meldrum, Murphy and McKenzie. For Hawthorn, 3 to Kennedy was their multiple goal scorer.
Graham, Mark Cutler on the ground. Can you get Serge Silvani, please? He's not too far away, and get his reaction on the marvellous game played by his son.
And the other goal scorers for Hawthorn, Di Domenico, Greg Deere, Curran, Collins, Pritchard and Platten. And
okay, here's Mark Cutler with Serge Silvani.
Well, Serge, no secret that your son played such a great game today, and does that give you extra thrills?
Oh, I'm thrilled for him. Battled hard. He was really disappointed last year, and it's good that he's come through this year.
And you personally, seeing it, being such a great Carlton man yourself, is this one of the sweetest successes you've had?
I think you enjoy more being involved in directing the team and what's going on. I think you get more satisfaction because it's sort of justifying your judgment. But you can get out there and play your head off and get the ball. But, you know, when it's involving guys, it's terrific satisfaction.
Really, honestly, you'd say that administrating, you know, this has given you more...
being involved in the team, yeah, it really does.
Oh, that's great. And how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Oh, I'll have a few quiet ales with Cole Kinnear and Kevin Hall in a corner, I think. Not too much, just a couple.
All the best. Serge Silvani, congratulations.
Serge, a member of our ABC commentary team from 1972 to 1977 before he went back, and he stayed with the Blues as assistant coach and selector and round the traps, and former Carlton champion, captain and premiership player.
Great to have Serge, because many a time I've tried to get him for our Saturday morning sports show, and as you said, Graham, being a former member of our panel, I would have thought he would have liked to have been on, but he's never been all that receptive to interviews, and that's why with him so close to Mark down there, we just couldn't let the opportunity go by.
Fantastic. Well, the Blues have got round to the goals now at the punt road end. They've started down to our left in front of the northern stand. They'll do their lap. And terrific that the ground has been cleared. The presentation of today's game and the proceedings and everything that went before and at half-time, I think, has been like clockwork. And so congratulations to the VFL for the way they've done it. The boys have had a little time to collect their thoughts. They've gone down to the rooms, Michael Moncrief and Gareth Andrews. So we'll hear from them shortly with some further interviews. Well done, Mark Cutler, on the ground. Not too many people left out there. But Doug Bigelow, you've had a bit of time to think about it. And certainly full marks to Carlton. They were the top side all year. They were fresher, fitter and faster on the day, and worthy premiers in 1987.
Yes, that just about sums it up. But it was quite interesting to hear Serge Silvani indicate to all and sundry just how disappointed Stephen was last year because he was fit. He didn't gain selection in the Carlton grand final team of last season, and there was a little bit of talk at the start of this season that he may not have been with Carlton. He was that disappointed. There was also significant to me what Wesley Lofts said. We gradually wore them down, and that was about the story of the Carlton effort today, plus the fact that they were fresher, they were fitter, and they certainly had speed in the last quarter when it was most necessary. Players like Nailey, who hadn't set the world on fire. Bradley was a good player in the third term for them, but he finished full of running. Johnson throughout was, to my mind, of value, almost best player on the ground, even though Reece Jones, who was equally as good perhaps, got the medal. But I thought that Jono was a fine player throughout.
Doug, if we may just leave for a moment, because Michael Moncrief is in the Hawthorn rooms. I think we've given the winners a fair go, and Michael Moncrief is with Peter Swab.
Well, Peter's down here enjoying a beer after the game today, trying to get a bit of coolness back into the body after a hot day. How did you think of the game, Pete?
Oh, it was very disappointing. We tried hard. I think they were just maybe that bit fitter at the end, and just, you know, when we went down three-quarter time, we thought we had to get the first, and we didn't. They got it lifted, and you know, they just went on from there.
You had a hard task today, given the role in the centre of minding Wayne Johnson. How'd you find that?
Oh, very difficult job. Conditions, plus he's such a great player. Very early, got away, and near the end, I thought near the end I was, you know, it was an even sort of duel, but probably he's just such a great player at getting the ball out of the centre. So, you know, in that sense, he beat me. Yeah.
How did the legs feel playing on such a hot day, more or less pre-season conditions in September?
Very much so. You come off playing in sort of, you know, 18 degrees, and then you hit a 30. It's just unbelievable. But they had to play in it too, so you know, we can't make excuses. But I think every player who played today has known he's been in a game of football. That's for sure. Well,
at least you've got a bit of time to recover now before you head off to Japan. When will that be?
I think we head off in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. So yeah, hopefully we get a break.
Enjoy the rest in the meantime.
Thanks a lot, Mick.
Well done, Michael Moncrief in the Hawthorn rooms with Peter Swab, who I feel certainly could hold his head up, one of Hawthorn's better players. Doug, you may be interrupted by the boys, but keep battling along quietly.
No, I just admired very much the way that Carlton's defence stuck to its task, because it was subjected to plenty early, and Silvani played a fine game, and Reece Jones, who had the big task on Brereton, did it so well, and it must be most satisfying to David Reece Jones to, out in that atmosphere today in a grand final, to be awarded the medal for best player on the ground. Certainly he's been exciting for us over the years and has done a few funny things, but we'll talk about Reece later.
No, I think behind us we might just put that noise, the Carlton theme song. The boys are singing it, fellas, so you might just put it up behind Doug. I think it makes a little background. Can't say we're bad losers here, because they thoroughly deserved it.
But there have been times, I suppose, when we've watched Reece Jones play that he's well, made us sink to the depths of despair with some of the things that he's done, and then he's given us so much elation with some of the brilliant things that he can do. But I can inform everybody who wasn't at the MCG today that what he did out there today was just perfection stuff, brilliant copybook, and of course much discipline was his display. He was an excellent player, but I think with all players doing so well back there, the way that they supported one another, because every time Silvani, which I think the key to his game was thwarting, punching the ball away, and he did that so well. It was good old-fashioned type back play. As soon as it hit the ground, you had Alvin down there picking up the crumbs. You had Aitken doing a splendid job, and Aitken, I think, is 21, 22 years of age. He played a wonderful game, but they were hell-bent intent today, Carlton. I've indicated that all the week. I thought that Robert Walls, when he was expressing all these views, that, well, you've still got the task, and I think I've expressed many times my admiration for this Hawthorn Football Club. I think 31 degrees might have been a telling factor, plus a few of them who did come out of their last encounter against Melbourne a little sore. Chris Mew wasn't an excellent player today, but he stuck to his job manfully. He had plenty of mates doing that, but when you had to look for winners and example setters, they were hard to find. Tuck and Dippy Domenico in particular was absolutely superb. He did run out of legs in the last quarter. He had plenty of mates. I thought he did very well. Langford had the big task on Kernahan. Kernahan did kick 3 goals, but he had to work so hard for them, and I dips my lip for Langford. He played a wonderful game. He was given good support by Ayres, and young Collins too, who was appearing in his first grand final, did very well, and I thought that Kennedy was another good player for Hawthorn. But as one would expect, they fought it right out to the bitter end, but Carlton on the day, just too fresh, just too good.
Let's go down to Gareth Andrews in the Carlton rooms with General Manager Ian Collins.
Well, Ian Collins, a fantastic result for the Blues after the disappointment of last year.
Yes, I think, it's a culmination of everything, a premiership win, and, the boys have worked very hard during the year, and it's been fantastic. And it's so much better a game because we're able to turn the tables on Hawthorn, and also our seconds one.
What was the real planning after last year's loss? Because there's been continually mentioned that you saw some big gaps and weaknesses. What were the major plans and the major differences that you saw you had to approach the 1987 season with?
Oh, well, last year, there were weaknesses in our side. We weren't as adaptable, and we had some players that were starting to get to the end of their tether, and we had to go out and find extra players, and one of the key players was roving, and I think Naley came through very well today. Then the longer the game went, the better he went.
Yes, and and you really did introduce more pace into the side. Of course, there were 7 players who in fact didn't play last year. Silvani, Aitken, Dennis, Kennedy, Gleeson, Naley, you've mentioned, and Murphy, they all added pace.
Yes, they did, and also youth as well, because we're a relatively young side, which people don't realise, and we've not only added pace but also height, and we've got a lot bigger side but a lot more mobile side, which is readily adaptable. And I think Robert showed a lot today because he was prepared to go into the game with a completely different game plan than the second semi-final, and playing Ford, Dorotich and Rhys Jones back on Brereton. And I think, those moves were great.
Were you a bit worried when you with Sartori out, because he is an important player in the side? That was a move you had to make, wasn't it, with Dorotich up there?
Yes, well, we wanted to keep pressure on their defence, and we had to do that by playing another big player, and we had Mackenzie who could come on and relieve at both ends of the ground, so it was decided to play Dorotich forward, who has played a lot of football at centre-half forward in Western Australia.
Well, Ian, congratulations. I know it's a tough life being a general manager, and go and enjoy the success.
Yes, well, we start again tomorrow.
Good on you, bud.
Gareth Andrews in the Carlton room with Ian Collins, a former Carlton Premiership player, now the general manager of the club.
Yes, and talking about plans and moves and the thinking that both Alan Jeans and Robert Walls had to do, the Dorotich move was a beauty, and of course Rhys Jones going on to Brereton was first class. Hawthorn realised that they had to do a little bit as well, and of course Platten was well taken out of the game. He was a quiet player today.
Doug, we have the president of the Hawthorn football team, Mr. Ron Cook. I would think the retiring president, with Michael Moncrief in the rooms.
Okay, down in the Hawthorn rooms, we've got Ron Cook. It's a bit of noise coming back after the quiet of losing today, Ron.
Well, it's disappointing, Mick. We really didn't play well. We couldn't get into the game. We had a lot of players down in form, and Carlton were too good on the day.
Very hot day, certainly didn't help the players as far as after their finals run. 3 tough games coming up to the grand final.
No, well, I really thought before the game our fitness because of those games might have stood us in good stead, but it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, we seem to, Hawthorn seemed to run short of players as far as getting injuries during the game as well. A couple of bad knocks to Tuck and then Russo later on in the game. Yes,
that didn't help us. Our forwards really were our poorer players on the day. The back line played pretty well, really, but unfortunately that's the way it goes. And we congratulate Carlton, and I've already said that to John Elliott, and well done Carlton, and they were too good on the day.
How soon or how long before the game was it known that Jason Dunstall wasn't going to be taking his place on the field?
Virtually before they run out at late.
So the players now have got a few weeks before they head off to Japan?
Yes, we're up over there in some 3 weeks' time, and they can lick their wounds and relax and get ready for that match.
Getting back to a personal note, Ron, what's your situation with the presidency as far as Hawthorn? When do you actually finish up?
Well, I've already indicated, I think everybody knows, that at the end of last year I announced that I'd definitely be retiring at the end of this year, and in due course the board will be discussing it and we'll be deciding what we're going to do.
You had a great year last year, winning the Brownlow medal and then the club and then the premiership. This year we got the Brownlow again, but just missed out on the premiership. So it's been a good couple of years.
Yes, Mick, I've been in the club a long while, and I'm always very proud when the team runs out in the grand final, and that's my 11th grand final. We've won 6 and lost 5, so maybe the odds will change next year again.
Okay, Ron Cook, thanks very much.
Well done, Michael Moncrief, with the president of Hawthorn, a great man in footy, Ron Cook.
Just let's say something about Johnson, though. I know I harp a little bit on it. It was absolutely amazing to see me when he took the ground, or when Carlton took the ground, how he urged every player. He loved it. He was putting a tough hand on the shoulder, usually a punch, really firing them up. And of course, not only did it the ex-captain of Carlton, he played out there and led by a fine example. Kernahan, of course, a captain, does it in a different way, but I think Johnson's value today was just absolutely superb as far as Carlton was concerned. I couldn't give any higher kudos to a player than what he did today, and throughout I thought he was just a wonderful goer for them. Tough as old boots, but does something with the footy all the time, and not only works hard himself, but he works hard in getting his teammates to do exactly the same thing. And I think his statistics would probably tell the story, but he used muscle and he used a little bit of thump occasionally too. But it was a grand final. The day was important for Johnson, and I don't think he'll be worried about a couple of weeks should he get them. But his value to Carlton today, along with plenty of mates, was first class.
Doug, I'd like to close off my commentary stint now and thank Smokey and yourself and Clearlow and Jack Cameron. It's been, I think, the busiest year that I can remember. I first started calling back in 1970. All those trips up to Carrara when we're on the road for about 17.5 hours non-stop of a Sunday. And I think the highlights of the year would still be those games in Sydney, Smoke, when the Swans are really firing and playing tremendous football, and it really is a test of our commentary skills. And I know that, I think I can safely say that on those occasions we've enjoyed it, and I think we've done the game justice. But it's been a long year. It's been probably the most enjoyable year for me out of the 17. I've done 16 grand finals, and we're going to have a week's rest and I guess gear up for the summer sports. And it won't be too long, I guess, if we all take a week or two off in January before it's pre-season and early games, night games, or whatever the competition's going to be next year, the bicentennial games. But it's been a fantastic season. And, oh yes, okay, so I'll close off there. Thanks very much, fellas. And is it Mark Cutler's got Wayne Johnston? No. Gareth Andrews, has it? Is it?
I can't crack it for the right headset.
No, I can't get the right headset either. So here's Gareth talking with Wayne Johnston.
Well, the Dominator, Wayne, your 4th premiership, and as sweet as all the others.
Yeah, mate, at the moment it feels fantastic.
And you were the inspiration, I felt, at the start of the game. You really came out all fired up. You came out at the front of the group and you ran back through the group. Did you feel you had to play that role today as an experienced player?
Well, mate, you've played them, Gareth. Starts are very important. You just can't give side starts. We gave Hawthorn a start last year and we got a belting. And we just thought it was imperative that we came out on the ground fired up, made everybody look like we were fired up. And as it came out, we were, and we got the first 3 goals.
Is that a role you assumed, or is it one that the club really put on you?
I didn't make up my mind till I ran out in the rooms.
And a tremendous effort by you to get those first couple of goals too. I mean, that was a critical moment as far as the game was concerned.
Well, the ball's usually pretty hot early, and I thought I'll make a couple of rushes into goal. I wasn't really supposed to be in the forward line too often. I was supposed to stay out. I played in the centre now most of the day. So I was trying to keep the forward line open, but I thought at the start when it's a bit hectic, let's see if you can get some.
It was a pretty hectic game. Did you notice that out there?
Mate, it was so bloody hot, you're just trying to worry about standing up.
And, I mean, in the last quarter, what was it like? The legs just wobbly?
Oh, the legs were feeling good.
And it was nice to have that break. I think, was it important, you think, that you only played the one game during the final series?
Mate,
up to today?
I don't care what anyone says. We played in 4 now, 3 of them have been like this. And if we could have had the other one the other way, we would have done it too. It's always better to have the week off.
Well done, Jono. You've got a few weeks off now, but I'm sure you're going to celebrate them.
Hello, what? Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Wayne Johnston down in the Carlton rooms with Gareth Andrews. The Blues, if you didn't know, were premiers today with a 33-point win over the Hawks. Have a spell for a minute, Doug. And Ian Cleland. Well, first of all, you can sum up on the umpires, Ian Robinson and Rowan Saws.
Firstly, what about a year that this Rhys Jones has had? Round 1, reported, found not guilty. Round 4, reported twice, found not guilty. Round 11, reported twice, got 4 weeks for that. And of course, and then he got the $5,000 bit over in Perth. And here he comes out today, plays football for his team that he knows how to play. Brilliant. And of course, he's won the Norm Smith medal. Let's go back to the umpiring today. There was 19 free kicks to Carlton and 16 to Hawthorn. They only gave 4 in the last quarter, 3 to Carlton and 1 to Hawthorn. Different umpiring in the last half of what it was in the first half. They used the ball up decision 17 times in the first half and only 8 in the second half. If I was giving points out of 10 for the umpires, I would have given Rowan Saws 8 out of 10 and Ian Robinson 6 out of 10. I don't think he was as good as he could have been. And somebody says he's lucky to get 6. Well, maybe so. But nevertheless, he's had a great career. And when you consider he's done over 355 games and 9 grand finals, and it is a magnificent career. And just echoing back to what Peter Booth said a moment ago, I've been involved with radio and TV since 1951. I haven't missed a year. And I'd like to say this, that working with the people around the grounds that we've got here, plus Peter, plus Smoothie and Doug Bigelow, this is the best
Don't worry
year.
about me, Clearlo.
This is the best year, Smokey, that I've ever had in my sporting career, working with professionals that you and Peter are, and of course with Doug behind and all the chaps that are around the ground to make it so great. And I hear all this because I go out to sportsmen's nights and I go to Rotary clubs, lawn clubs. I know how good you fellas are, and I'd like to echo their sentiments, what I hear all around the traps. Congratulations to you 3 and the boys around the grounds. It's been a great year.
Thanks, Cluedo, and let's hope it continues for many, many more. Well done, and well, we'll do all that tonight. David Mackay, congratulations again on the Blues, the 15th flag and a beauty. But you've missed the last couple. But how many did you play in Swanee? 4?
4 out of 5. Five grand finals for 4 premierships.
That's not a bad record. Yeah, not bad.
I think Wayne Johnson might have even equalled that today.
4 out of 5. Yeah. So terrific effort. But full marks to Robbie Walls. I thought last year he declared his hand in the second semi-final. He won it with legitimate tactics this year and made the changes in the grand final, and so he didn't give Hawthorn the shot at him. Rhys Jones, Alvin, Dorotich, all match-winning moves. Glasgow, another beauty.
Yeah, I think that's true. They were all certainly match-winning moves, and I think Hawthorn were caught a little off guard in a similar fashion that Hawthorn caught Carlton off guard last year. But I think the major move this year has been to blood those new players that have been mentioned earlier, those 7 new players, and in particular, a few of them I thought played a significant part in today's victory. Players like Aitken, he played a very good game from the half-back flank. Silvani, a top game, and he certainly vindicated the fact that he should have been in last year's grand final, but he certainly made up for it today and played a particularly good game. I was very impressed with Kennedy playing on the wing today, an uncharacteristic position for him. He's been playing on the back pocket all year, and I thought he did a very good job on green today on the wing.
Okay, Swanee, back to you in a moment. Gareth Andrews in the Carlton rooms. Okay, not with Justin Madden. Back to you, Swanee.
And the player that probably has been the most valuable of all, though, has been Mark Nailey, the South Australian recruit, and the way that he's given the Carlton side a lot of drive around the packs. And
okay, Gareth does have Justin now, Swanee, so down to Gareth.
Well, Justin Madden getting congratulations here. Now, talk to me, mate.
Sure, Gareth.
Marvellous result.
Oh, it was great. You know, it's amazing. It's a bloody ridiculous game, really, but, you know, when when you win like this, a grand final, it probably you appreciate it all that more, and you have your highs and lows, and quite often the highs are pretty rare. This is one of them. This is one of them, and I want to appreciate it all that more. I want to take my time. I don't want to get changed in a real hurry, because I'm sure if I shower...
You won't have a shave, I guess?
Exactly. I'm sure if I shower, I'll probably wash all the atmosphere off with me. So I just want to take it in and appreciate it as much as I can.
Now, I asked Jono about the heat in the centre of the ground, but he just sort of wandered around the centre square there. But you really ran around the ground. What was it like there? Like a cauldron?
It was, the first half in particular, it was just stinking hot. It really was. It was pretty hard to appreciate how hot it was until we were out there. I didn't really realise the conditions were probably so dry. But I think the rest that I had at the end of the second quarter, made a bit of a difference, and a bit of a cool change helped, I think. And in the end, I think probably the difference between the two sides was the fact that we'd played 2 games in the final series and Hawthorn had played 4. And, it was great that we finished on top, and in the end it worked out to our advantage, and it's just a really sweet feeling.
And you personally, you've always done pretty well against the Hawks, so I guess you went into the game pretty confident with your own form.
Yes, I was hoping that I could, contribute to a large degree to the sort of result of the game, and I was concentrating heavily on the sort of ruck work I was doing, and I think it paid off in the end.
Well done, Justin. Go and have some fun.
Thank you very much, Carl. It's fantastic.
And the Carlton Premiership ruckman, Justin Madden, he played a pretty significant part in that one, David.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. He certainly got the ball out to those smaller players who had a large measure of influence on today's result. But I think those 7 players that we mentioned, a couple of the players that they replaced, I think the Carlton players at the end of today's game showed what they thought of those. In particular, Desi English and Peter Motley, both losses to football and in particular to Carlton were tragic during the year. And I think that those particular players going out of the game really bound the Carlton side together, because I think up until then, Carlton were sort of a fairly selfish sort of team, and I think they all realised with those 2 players in the situation that they were in that it really bound them together, and I think it set them up very well for the Premiership.
Let's join Michael Moncrief now in the Hawthorn rooms with the Hawthorn skipper, Michael Tuck.
Tucky, you must be feeling very tired after the game today. A bit warm out there?
Yeah, it was actually. It's sort of very tiring. Oh, yeah. Top of the game.
How about that knock you copped early in the game from Madden? Whereabouts did you actually get that?
Right across the nose and top lip. Yeah. I didn't really know who got me or what happened, really. I know it hurt.
Did that give you a blurred vision, or what was the actual problem while you're off the ground?
Yeah, it didn't. It sort of just a little bit specky for a while, but that's why I went off and just got it checked out and everything was all right.
When you came back, they tried you in a forward flank for a while, then a back flank. You were instrumental in that goal in the 3rd quarter when you got it out. Did you think you should have stayed there a bit longer on the forward line?
Oh, not really. It depends on what the coaches want to do. If they want to try and get a lift from another bloke or myself or something like that, you just sort of do what they suggest. You don't really worry about it too much.
You must be happy with your form, not only during the home and away games, but during the final series. You're probably putting a very consistent year and also a consistent final series. What's your actual situation for next year?
Well, actually, the club want me to play again next year. I asked them earlier in the year, but I've been happy with the year. Just disappointed we couldn't top it off, but I've been happy with it, so really, that's the main thing.
How old are you now, Tucky?
34.
Getting any easier, or?
It's not getting any easier. It's sort of getting more disappointing too as you get on. There seems to be a lot more disappointments in footballs than there is highs. I say it's fine, but when you really do have a high like a grand final, it's really worth it.
Where did you think that Carlton won the game from today?
I think when they got those couple of goals last quarter, I think they probably ran out the back pretty good and things like that, but we had a few players down. Then you've got to have 20 players performing on the one day to do very good.
There seemed to be a lot of players very sore and tired later in the game as well.
I think that's probably because they got a jump on us and they got a few goals ahead. I think that could have been the other way around if we had got it on top of them.
Okay, Tucky, well played yourself, and enjoy a few drinks tonight.
No, thanks, Mick. Thanks very much.